All right, today's special guest, one of my good friends, and I think one of the best guys in the hurt business in all of combat sports, the great Rougarou, Regis Prograis.
Thank you.
Good to have you, brother. It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too, bro.
I guess you're moving up to light heavy?
Nah, I'm done. I am getting big. I look at myself on camera, damn, I am getting big. Nah, I'm done with it, bro. I'm done with it.
You look good. You look happy. No more fights?
I do miss fighting.
Yeah.
I don't want to box no more for sure. I've been doing some like jiu-jitsu training, MMA.
Yeah.
Or maybe a bare knuckle thing. Maybe, but like I don't want to do it as a profession no more. I'm done with that. I might just like do it just to do it because I do miss fighting. But at my house, I do host sparring. Like on Saturday, when I'm back in Texas, I will host sparring. So I'll get in there with the guys sometimes. So maybe that's my itch. I can get that itch out the way. But as far as professional boxing, I'm done with that for sure.
Yeah, well, I know another guy who said he was done with boxing and realized the hard way that it wasn't done with him, and that's my good friend, another Louisiana guy, and that's the great Dustin Poirier.
Really? He wanted to go back to it?
Well, he's having a hard time, you know. I don't know if you saw he got arrested.
I saw that,
yeah, poor guy. He's like you. I love the guy. He's like a good friend, and it's just tough to see him struggling, and I'm just wondering, have you like given any thought to talking to someone about the transition? Because, you know, when you identify as a fighter for as long as you have and you're the best in the world, right, it's got to be hard to step away and feel like you're not that same guy anymore.
Right. I feel like it is, but one thing I always didn't want to be, I didn't want to be those older guys that was just all beat up.
That's right.
That's one thing I mean, so it is, I think it's harder, but I don't want to walk away when you get beat out the business. That's the thing. I don't want to get beat out. I want to walk away on my own terms. And a lot of fighters, they don't. They go back and I go to the Hall of Fame weekends.
Yep.
And man, it's sad to see these legends and they just beat up. Mm-hmm. They real beat up. They beat up real bad and they can't speak. Their balance is off. They can't. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. So I have my health, and I love my health. I love where I'm at right now in my career. I'm just lifting every day, and I like that. Like, I'm getting bigger and stuff. I want to be like that. I miss fighting, but I don't miss it to what it's going to, like, deteriorate my health.
Yeah, and you have a lot of interests outside of the sport, and you've always been into, I mean, one of the most avid readers I've ever met. You read a lot of books on business and finance, right? And you got a lot of interests outside. What businesses are you working on? Right
now, I've been doing real estate for a while, for a long time. I always made sure I always invested. After I fight, I always make sure I invest something, you know. So I've been doing real estate for a long time. Of course, I have a money manager with stocks and stuff like that. Right now, as far as what I want to do, not dealing with money really is like I'm probably do like a podcast. I already been shooting podcasts. I've been doing that already. Movies, kind of want to get into that type of stuff. Of course, I had a book already. I have a book out. I'm gonna do another. I'm getting a part 2 of that book. What else have got? Probably do a cartoon also. Yeah. And yeah, that's really, and then open a business out here too. I have a friend. He opened like a recovery center. Matter of fact, you gotta go to if you can out here. Yeah. He has a recovery center, and he wants to open the second one, and I'll probably be involved with that. And that's something I really, really do want to do.
Sports recovery or drug recovery?
No, sports. It's a recovery center. It's called Cold Summer, and it's really just a place, a 2-part place. One side is a cafe, and the other side is it's like a sauna, cold plunge, compression shorts, and then a red light therapy. Oh, okay. And it's matter of fact, it's the airport right here. It's right around the corner from here, nice. From the airport. So I want to get into that too. That's something I feel like I would want to do, be involved with.
Yeah. I could see you doing that. Well, let's start from the beginning. Where'd you grow up?
New Orleans, from New Orleans, Louisiana. Mm-hmm.
And what was childhood like? Were you a super, because you are a good athlete. I mean, when I see you move around, I'm like this, you can just look at someone and be like, yeah, that guy's an athlete. I can see the confidence when you're in the ring, the way you move on your feet. You know, you see some guys, they're like rigid. They know everything to do, but it just doesn't feel smooth.
It's not smooth.
When I see you, I'm like, oh, this guy's an athlete.
Yeah. I mean, I played everything. I played, of course, when I come up, where I come from, basketball, football, I ran track, I did karate, I did swimming, I played a little baseball, but not for a team, tried my hand in a little soccer and stuff like that, but I did all that type of stuff, but fighting was my thing. Like when I started fighting, it was just like, that was it. I loved it. So earlier, at first, when I was younger, I did karate. What happened was, I did the karate thing, and then I was hurting people too much. So the sensei, he told my dad, he was like, nah, he can't do karate. Because we were sparring the gloves, in karate gloves. Well, at first, when I was young, I did it when I was way younger, and then we was kicking and stuff. And then I stopped. I think I played football or something like that, and then I came back. So we started sparring, and the karate gloves, some little bitty gloves, I was hitting people with that. I was hurting them. Yeah. And so the sensei he told my dad, like, he can't do it. He needs to box or play football, go back and play football. So I went back and I played football, got stronger, faster, and bigger and stuff like that. And then, so what happened with the boxing story is I played football in high school, and we used to always fight in the boxing gloves. And the football players used to fight in the boxing. And this is how corrupt New Orleans is. The coaches used to watch us. Yeah. So doing this every Friday or something like that, we would get in the gloves, and I would be fighting all the bigger guys. And after one day, I beat one of the older. I was in the 10th grade at the time. I beat like a senior. I beat him up real bad. So the coach saw me. He pulled me to the side. He was like, man, look, like, you probably don't have a future in football, but you might have one in boxing. And I felt it already. I was like, all right. And then I really, I think that day or maybe that week, I turned in my football equipment. And I was like, I went to a boxing gym.
Which boxing gym?
Honestly, it was some boxing gym in New Orleans. Because it was brief because my mama took me out because my grades dropped. I was going to boxing, and that was the hardest thing. That was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. When I started boxing, that was the worst workout, the hardest workout I ever did in my life. When I first started, I was exhausted. I remember just punching with the weights and doing push-ups, but I never did that type of stuff before. Yeah. I mean, now it'll be easy, but back in the day, it was hard for me. So I was doing that type of stuff. And that was the hardest thing. And so my grades started dropping. My mama took me out. And then I had to go back when school ended, which was May or something like that. And then I went to a gym in a night walk called Running Bear Boxing Club. I went there, and then Hurricane Katrina hit. I went there from May to August. And after that, the storm hit and then took me to Houston.
How quickly, I want to talk to you about Katrina, but before we get there, how quickly did you feel like, oh, I'm gonna beat up everyone in this gym? Like when you first got there and started working out, obviously it's gonna be very humbling. And I always tell people this, it's like every single athlete at any endeavor, whether it's football, basketball, at some point you have to accept the fact that maybe some kids in basketball and stuff start out and they're really good, but with a sport like boxing, jiu-jitsu, you come in, you are the worst. Yes. These guys have experience. A shitty boxer with experience is beating a good athlete with no experience. Right. So and I tell my kids this, if you're not comfortable going to wrestling and jiu-jitsu and losing and getting beat up and feeling embarrassed and feeling terrible, you're never going to get to be the best. It's like a rite of passage. Yeah. How did you deal with that? Because you were a good athlete, going in there and feeling like, or did you feel like, okay, I'm the worst now, but I'm going to be the best?
That's what I felt. So my confidence grew over time. It kept growing little by little by little. So, man, it's crazy. One of my friends, I just talked to him right before I got here. We went to the gym in a night walk, and, man, they had this dude named Red. They call him Red Dog, right? Man, this dude whooped my ass every day. It was, like, unfair how bad he would beat me. Like,
and the trainers weren't like, yo, tone it down, Red Dog.
No, because all right, so when I went to this not the gym I went with my mama at first. Yeah. This when I went back for summertime. The second gym. So I went to a different boxing gym, and, man, so really we didn't have a trainer. We was literally just training ourselves in the yard. It was a ring outside in the yard, and I would just go there. I was obsessed with boxing. I was just going to the yard every day and just train. And he had like in his little garage, he had like one heavy bag. I remember one heavy bag, one double end, and one speed bag. That was it.
There was no coach or trainer? No coach. It was just Red Dog's house?
It was the coach's house, but he didn't ever be there. He would just like he worked, and he was an older guy. He would just drink beer and talk to us after we finished training. That's all. So he would just let us train, but he won't really train us. So me and Red would be sparring, and, man, he whoop me every time I spoke to him. He whooped me every day. He had a style to it was just like real slick, and I thought he was like the best ever, until I went to Texas and I found out. And then the thing is, he would go to nationals, and he would lose and stuff to go in nationals. I thought he was real good, but He was just like real good for New Orleans.
How was he getting good if he was just beating up on beginners?
That's why he probably wasn't. He was just beating up on us. So we thought he was like, I mean, everybody.
But at some point, someone must have developed him good enough to be better than even beginners.
Well, he was just better than us, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, because the thing is, New Orleans isn't a fighting city at all. New Orleans is not known for fighting, not known for boxing. That's all. So he was whooping all of us, but he would go to different cities and stuff, and he would lose and stuff. Or go to nationals and he would lose. He would fall short because New Orleans just don't have that. They don't have that talent. Like New Orleans is a basketball, football, and track. That's what we develop. Yeah, we develop that type of stuff. But as far as fighters, New Orleans doesn't develop that.
But I hope that people who are interested in boxing or thinking about boxing hear this and realize like how obsessed you have to be when all you see, like you don't know that there's other gyms. I mean, you probably know there's other gyms, but not that it's like much more developed. You're probably thinking as your first experience, like, shit, this is boxing? Like, this guy's just beating the shit out of me. When do I get the chance to, when do I get a chance to do the whooping?
Man, I started getting a little bit, I started hitting him a little more, but man, he was levels above me because you gotta realize I started late. And so he was doing it since he was a kid and he was going to nationals and I was just starting. So just imagine, like you have to go in there and start somewhere. So just imagine somebody that has that much experience.
I know.
He was like a Louisiana State champion years in a row, and and then like I said, he went to nationals or something like that. So to go to nationals, you got to kind of be pretty good, But somebody coming in off the street, like you said, an athlete compared to a fighter that's going national, it's a big difference.
But it's also, you as a fighter, I know you wouldn't beat up on someone like that. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you get better to beat the shit out of someone who doesn't know what they're fighting. If you, like in jiu-jitsu, my youngest son does jiu-jitsu, they would always say like, hey, take care of your training partner. Like you don't want to hurt him because you're not a jerk. And B, you want this guy to get better. So if you just dominate him, and it isn't going to help him. And I would see my son, he'd roll with the beginner and he would let the kid get him. And I say, even at 8 years old, I say, I can see that you're a good person. Letting that kid, he's like that, it isn't going to help me to embarrass this guy. I know I can do it, but this guy is just like teeing off on you.
Yeah.
Like I know that you wouldn't do that, and it's just the fact that you stuck with it through that to say like, nah,
I stuck with it, getting whooped. Every time we spar, I would get whooped. But the thing is about me, I was always tough. I was a good fighter.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Right.
I wasn't a good boxer, but I always was a good fighter. Like I can take it. Like people, that's probably why he can do it. Because if I get one off, I'm hurting. That's the thing. That's how I was when I was younger. Like you can hit me with whatever, and I was just always real durable, real tough. I could take a punch. So that's probably why he can take me. He can hit me so much. But he knows if I land one, and sometimes I probably did. He know, all right, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah,
that's why. And I always was. So when I was younger, I was very, very durable. Like I was just always a good fighter, and that's what kind of took me to where I got, I was just always a real strong, just a fighter.
Look, I wear a lot of gear. Most of it I don't talk about. Roka, however, I will talk about. And here's why. I don't put anything on my face that can't keep up with me. On a run, out in the sun all day, if it slips, if it fogs, if I have to think about it, it's gone. Roka doesn't slip. They build performance eyewear, ultralight titanium frames, lenses that are sharp, polarized, dialed in, and the no-slip grip locks in hotter the more you sweat. That's not a lifestyle brand pretending to be performance. That's the real thing. And I've got several. This is my running pair. These I wear all the time. And at night, I'm in their wind-down glasses. Off screens, actually wind down, actually sleep. My good friend Andrew Huberman designed these with Roka, so you know they're good. I also wear prescription glasses like the ones you see me wearing now. And Roka can do that for you too. These are premium and give you incredible value at the same time. If you're looking for a pair of cheap sunglasses that you can scratch up and don't care if you leave them behind, Roka is definitely not for you. However, if you care about performance, what you put on your face, and quality, premium products, Roka's the perfect pair. That's my test for anything. Do I actually reach for it? I reach for these. Roka's whole thing is unlocking human potential, equipping the people who refuse to settle for good enough. That's the other side of hard. That's this whole show. So if you want eyewear that performs as hard as you do, go to Roka.com and use code RIDEOUT for 20% off. Again, that's code RIDEOUT for 20% off at Roka.com. Roka, get after it. Boom. All right, so Katrina happens. Tell me about Katrina. What was your experience? Because I know it was like traumatizing.
Everybody had different experiences in Katrina. So Katrina happened. I was 16 when it first happened. My mom and dad, I didn't know at the time. My mom and dad had just got a divorce. So I didn't know where my dad was at. He left. He went somewhere else. My mom, she was working in the French Quarters at the time, so she stayed back. So it was me, my grandma, my grandpa, my sister, and we had a cousin. Usually the trip from New Orleans to Houston takes about 6-7 hours. It took like 18 hours because of traffic. It was literally traffic on the road, you know. So
you left as it was getting bad, or after it was
before?
Like
I left before. I did.
So you knew the storm was coming, and,
yes.
Your parents, your mom was like, get him out of here.
My mom was stayed. My grandma. So what happened was, the mayor at the time was Ray Nagin. Ray Nagin got on TV. He said it's a mandatory evacuation. You have to go. He said it's gonna be like Hurricane Betsy. Hurricane Betsy hit in 1963, I think. That's when my grandma was younger, and she remembered that. They had to get on boats. Her daddy and stuff had to get on boats. So she remembered that. She said, or if it's gonna be, because we wasn't gonna leave. She said, if it's gonna be like that, we have to leave. And so that's why we did that. We got out of there.
So you got out of there, and what happened with your mom?
My mom stayed. She stayed in the French Quarter. The thing is, New Orleans is it's a bowl like this, and the water just pours in. But she worked in the French Quarters. The French Quarters was almost untouched. That's the crazy thing about it. Like it was a lot of wind and stuff.
Yeah.
But as far as the flooding,
yeah.
the French Quarters really didn't get touched. And she was working in a hotel in the French Quarters at the time, so nothing happened to her.
And where was your house though?
My house was in the east. Now my house got destroyed. My house had about 8 feet of water. We went back about 2 weeks later, and my house had about 8 feet of water. My grandma's house had about 13 feet. Destroyed. Like
so
both
everything that you owned was gone.
Everything was gone. Everything you owned is all absolute. That's gone. Destroyed. You know, and it's crazy what water can do. Like you would think, like, man, water is so strong. What water can do. Like I saw when I went back, because we went back early. We went back about 2 weeks after it happened, and literally we saw a house that was here moved. A house. You could see it's insane to see that. Like what water can do to something is I don't know. It's just it's something you have to see. It's something you can't even explain, that stuff. Like I would see boats on top of houses, cars on the top of a house move down the street. You know, to see that stuff is just insane. So we went back, and I mean, all the furniture just all over the place. The smell was something you can't even describe the smell. It was bad.
So when you went back, what did you do? Like, what was the game plan? Let's just see what we can salvage and then get out of there.
Salvage nothing. You couldn't salvage nothing. I mean, I had just, the thing about I had just bought some Prada shoes right before school started.
You've always been a name brand guy.
I always wanted my Pradas, man. Me and my friend bought some Prada shoes. I salvaged my Pradas. It was dirty out, but I got them. I washed them off and stuff. I got my Pradas back. But because I worked for the whole summertime, almost the whole summertime, I worked to get those Prada shoes to make some money. And I got those shoes, and that was it. I couldn't get nothing else. Everything was just destroyed.
And so at that point, did you move back to Houston permanently?
Yeah, I went back to Houston. That was it. I went back.
And so where were you staying in Houston? Were you staying with friends, family?
Man, we stayed. We went. I think I counted, like, we moved around 18 times. We stayed in. They had a guy we knew through a cousin. We stayed in his like garage. Yeah. All of us family. We stayed in the garage. We stayed some other people's houses. We stayed in hotels. We just went back and forth, just a lot, just moving around back and forth. We went to Mississippi for like 3 or 4 weeks. Went to Mississippi. I lived in Slidell for a little while. We moved around.
It had to be traumatizing.
For me, it sounded like it was, but for me, I liked it.
It was like an adventure for a kid.
It was an adventure. I was 17. Now I turned 17, and moved all around. I loved it. I went to 5 different high schools, so I just moved I kept moving around, and for me, I loved it.
And you liked going to being the new kid at the new school?
I did like it. I did like, because all the girls like you. when you go to different school, the new guy, and so like I was from New Orleans. And they knew I can fight.
Yeah.
You know, I had tattoos when I was younger too, so I was like the bad guy.
How old were you when you started getting tattoos?
I was 16 when I got my first tattoo.
Yeah.
This one, my mom's name. So I had tattoos, and we have in New Orleans, you have a reputation. Everybody had a reputation in New Orleans for being like this bad guy. Yeah. So I was always quiet. I'm not gonna just make a friend if I don't. I need to know people first. My sister was different. She would talk to everybody and warm up to them real quick. For me, I have to vet out everybody I'm talking to. So I would go into schools real quiet, and people was kind of scared of me because I'm from New Orleans. I'm red. I'm from New Orleans. I got tattoos, and they find I'm a boxer. So literally nobody wanted to mess with me. And I was proving it too. The crazy thing when I went to Houston at first, because I went to Houston back and forth. I went to Houston, then I moved to Mississippi, then I moved to Slidell, then Mississippi, then I went back to Houston. But the second time I went to Houston, that's why I graduated from. I went to West Side, and people were scared of me, and they don't even know who I am. They were scared. They heard I'm a boxer, and of course I got tattooed from New Orleans, but they didn't want to mess with me. But I never even proved it. People just know I box. That's all. But man, I loved it. I'm not gonna lie. I did like going to a bunch of. It was thinking about it now. It was like a crazy experience, but I liked it at the time.
It's funny to me because on the surface, I can see where they would think that about you. But getting to know you, I'm like, this guy is like the perfect example of don't judge a book by its cover. I remember going to your house and seeing all the books you had read about finance and business. And the more time I spend talking to you, I'm like, this guy is like an anomaly. Like your personality doesn't match how you look and sound.
Right.
You're not a bully. Remember, I used to always tell you about the Charlos, with the Charlos, I was like, man, these guys are like handsome. They're awesome boxers. Why do they want to be gangsters? Like, why do you want to be push this image? Like, brands don't want to work with that kind of image. It always baffled me. But I was like, well, Regis, he's just like, just the accent and the looks can be people can misperceive or have a wrong perception of you.
Right.
But all right, so you graduated from high school in Houston. Are you when do you start going to the Charlo gym?
No, not Charlo, the Savannah. So it was Savannah boxing gyms. Charlo's opened a gym a long time after.
But that's where Charlos were.
We all came up in Savannah boxing gym. Man, that
was Ronnie Shields?
No, it was Savannah. Ronnie was there though.
Yeah.
It was Willie Savannah. Willie was the owner. Willie and Claire Savannah. I still talk to Miss Savannah. Willie, recipe, he died a few years ago, and Miss Savannah, she still running the gym right now. But Ronnie was there, and
but all those people were there.
They have to make a movie about this gym. That gym was special, man. Like at the time, Ronnie was one of the head coaches there, and the biggest name there was like Holyfield. Holyfield was there. He was at the end of his career, but he was there. I remember De La Hoya coming in, Shane Mosley coming in, Violence from Murder, I think he died. Omar Henry, he died too. The Charlo twins, it was me, it was Holland Williams, it was a dude named Lenore Lane, he was a good pro too. Irislan DeLaura was there, Riggindale was there.
Come on.
Man, because Ronnie Shields trained. He trained all these guys coming in.
This has to be one of the biggest collections of talent at any boxing gym in the world.
They have to somebody has to make a movie about that gym one day. Like, it was so much talent in that gym is insane. And so was that the
first gym you went to after?
The first gym.
The first gym after you left New Orleans. So after Red Dog's beating the shit out of you, then you show up at this gym with even the most
better talent, even better people like that. But
now there's trainers, so they're probably not letting you get tuned up like that.
Right. Well, the thing, when I was younger, I would bleed a lot too. I told you, I was a fighter.
Yeah.
So you can hit me and I can bleed, but they know if I hit them, I'm hurt them. So what happened was I was sparring with some guy one time, and the trainer, he said, when I hit him, he could see the punch through his back.
Yeah.
And I was fighting somebody of no fights, just like me. So I hit somebody, and so after that they had to put me with the twins and stuff. They had to put me with them, all the guys that was going to nationals and stuff, because I was too good. I was too strong.
Yeah.
I told you, I was always a fighter. So I would try to hurt people. That's what I would do. And still, I just know how to do it. Even I'm starting to roll with jiu-jitsu and stuff now, but it's a natural thing for me. I just know how to, I sound messed up, I know how to hurt people.
Yeah.
I just know how to do it. So when I was younger, that's what I would do. You can box me, it's cool, you could be a better boxer, but if I hit you, I'm gonna hurt you. And that's what I would do. I would hit people, and I make sure I would hit them and I would hurt them, because I would ball my fist up real tight in the gloves. The harder you ball your fist up, the harder your hand is. It feel like a brick.
Yeah.
So if I hit somebody, I'm hurt them. So coming from there, like I said, I was the first time I sparred. I remember I couldn't wait too. The first time I sparred with some kid, and the trainer at the time, Big said, he said, man, you hit him and I saw it through his back. He said then they had to put me with all like the the guys that was going to nationals, and I didn't have no fights yet. I was just coming in, so that's how I developed. And they would beat me, they would whoop me. All these dudes.
But would any of those guys, were the trainers kind of like, hey, to the established guys, like, hey, like, I don't want the kid to leave. This guy is good. We're trying to develop him. Don't unload on him. Like,
yeah, I don't think so. I think they just, because I wasn't quitting. That's what I wanted to do. I don't care. Like, maybe not now, but when I was younger, I was so durable. I could take a punch. I would bleed. I'm talking about I would bleed. Every day I would bleed. I would bleed when I put my hand wraps on. I would bleed so much. My nose just always would bleed. And but I was a natural fighter. Maybe they told me, I don't know what they said, but I wasn't quitting. Like, no matter what happened, I wasn't quitting, because I really just loved, that was something I just loved to do.
How quickly did you think, like, okay, they're getting off on me right now, but I'm going to get these guys?
It took a while, because they were so experienced.
Yeah.
Man, I remember, so the dude I mentioned, Lenore Lane. So I remember sparring him one time. So as an amateur, we always go Monday through Thursday after school, because we was in school. So one day I went on a Saturday. That's when all the pros trained. All the pros would train in the morning time and then on Saturdays. So one time I went, my coach was like, yeah, go on a Saturday. Come on a Saturday and come spar. I went on a Saturday. Man, and this dude, I sparred Lenore Lane. He'll see it one day. I sparred him, and man, he beat the hell out of me. Man, I'm talking about I couldn't land a punch. He was fat. He was older too. He a few years older than me, so he was older. So he was a man. He had man strength, and he was fast, and I couldn't hit him. Literally, I think we sparred 4 rounds. I probably hit him one time. He beat the hell out of me, and I'm like, damn, like. But it made me realize, all right, it's another level to it, and it just, for me, my confidence kept growing more, because I'm like, all right. And then I remember one time, later, I ended up dropping him. So I ended up getting better. I kept getting better and better and better. I was like, I'm going to catch up eventually.
Well, the people in the gym must be noticing this and be like, holy shit, we got something good with this kid Regis, because not only is he good, but he can take a beat and then he keeps coming back. Like, you can't intimidate him.
Yeah, they had one of my friends, another dude that died, rest in peace, Tuffy. He was saying, man, when you turn pro, you going to be a monster. He used to tell me that all the time. He'd be like, man, because I would hit so hard. He said, man, when you turn pro, man, once you put those 8-ounce gloves on, man, you could be a monster. And that's when I was like, not just starting off, but I was still, it was probably a few years before I turned pro.
And he said turn pro probably because you're relatively new, you're late to the game. Amateurs takes incredible experience and boxing knowledge and all the shit that, like, when you were in with the Charlos, when you were like, they were just so experienced. Like, they're doing this since they're 5, 6, 7 years old. You're starting at 17. Yep. So that's why they're probably looking at you, for people who don't know much about boxing. There's a big difference between being a good amateur and a good pro.
Right.
And you're the perfect example. Probably not someone who's going to go to the Olympics, but as a pro would become a world champion.
Exactly. Yeah, because I fought in the Olympic trials. I lost in the Olympic trials, but then as a pro in my class, I think I probably accomplished more than anybody else except like Aaron Spence. I fought at 152 in the amateurs. I turned pro and dropped down to 140, but at 152, Errol was the champion. He was the Olympic. And
was he at that gym too?
No, he was in Dallas.
Because he's buddies with
the Charlos and stuff, but he's in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so when did you have your first amateur fight?
Well, I fought one in New Orleans, but for me, it's like that didn't count. I fought one fight in New Orleans before the storm hit, but then for me, first one in Texas, it was so long ago, I don't even know.
When did you start fighting like competitive amateur? Not just the bullshit where you show up at like some rec club, but when it's like competitive, like working towards.
I remember my first, probably my first loss. I remember that my first loss was like my 10th or 11th fight. I fought a dude named David Thomas, and I think it was my 11th fight, and it was the Golden Gloves. It was the finals of the Golden Gloves, and I lost that fight.
In Houston.
Okay. Golden Gloves finals.
Texas State?
It was in Houston. It was just Houston.
But it was called the Houston Golden Gloves, not Texas.
Golden Gloves, yeah. I lost that fight. And I just remember after that coming back, and I ended up beating him. I came back for a rematch, and I beat him years later. But we fought at the U.S. Championships in I think the city finals, like Houston finals.
Yeah.
I ended up going to state, win the state, and then I ended up going to nationals. I lost the nationals.
So you were the Texas state champion as an amateur?
Yes, as far as the U.S. Open National, something like that. I was the state champion.
And where were nationals?
Colorado Springs.
So at that point, was that the
I was
first
ranked
time
number
you
4
had
in the
like
country.
taken an airplane and like now you're starting to travel?
It wasn't the first time, but it was. I didn't go a lot of places when I was younger. So yeah, like traveling with boxing was like it's crazy. I remember I won it was called in Kansas City. They have the Ringside World Championships.
Yeah.
I won that. So I think that was a big confidence booster for me when I went to the Ringside National Champion and World Championships, and I won that. It was 4 fights, man. I'm not gonna lie. After the fight, after the 4th fight, my jaw was done. I couldn't even eat M&Ms.
Oh, really?
I was done. Even after the 3rd fight, they had to fight another one. In the 4th fight, you fighting, and the thing is, you fighting somebody that won 3 times just like you.
Yeah.
So this is the finals, and this is a dude, and then I remember I ended up dropping him in the finals.
Yeah.
I like, damn, and I won the belt, and that felt like real good.
Okay.
This was before going to national that time. So, but one thing for me, since I started so late and came from Katrina, I had to play catch up a lot.
Yeah.
I had to get a lot of fights, and like every weekend they would have a fight. We would go to tournaments, and I would have to fight, keep fighting. And that's kind of and my confidence kept growing. That thing is, in fighting, one of the main things is your confidence. You gotta have confidence. That's probably one of the main. You don't have to even be. You have to be good, but somebody can be better than you. But if you believe in yourself, that'll take you so far. And for me, I just kept believing in myself more and more and more.
I don't waste time with gimmicks in training. Either something makes you better or it doesn't. Most home setups fail because they can't keep up with you or you stop progressing. That's why I use AMP. It's an AI-powered strength training system that mounts in your home and adapts as you train. Every rep is tracked, resistance adjusts automatically, and you can run full strength sessions without needing a gym. It's not about convenience. It's about consistency and progression, even when you're training alone. If you want structure, serious strength work at home, check out amp.ai/rideout. Again, that's amp.ai/rideout. So as you go into all these tournaments, like how are you paying for the travel? Does the club pick it up? Like what are you doing for bread?
That's a good question. Maybe my mom or something was paying out. As an amateur, I was still working. I started working.
What were you doing?
I used to be, I did a bunch of jobs, but eventually I became like a personal trainer.
Okay.
That's what I was. I worked at LA Fitness for 6 years. Before I started making money, people don't know that. Yeah. Before I started making money, I worked at LA Fitness for 6 years. I was a personal trainer. Yeah. And then I worked at Title Boxing for another 2 years. I didn't make my first big check till I was like 27.
Okay, so you're just hustling hourly and you're footing essentially all the bills. So if you go to Kansas City, Regis paying for the airfare.
Basically, I had to do. We drove.
Okay.
I think we drove to Kansas City. Yeah,
But you flew to
ourselves.
some places.
I flew to some places. Well, I think that maybe my dad or mom helped me out. I'm trying to think. Maybe my dad or something like that helped me out. Because my dad he worked for the state of Louisiana, so he had a good job at the time. Then he started coming back around. Once I started boxing, the thing is my dad and mom had a divorce when I was like 14, and I think he started coming back around like when I was like 19 or 20, something like that. Because boxing kind of put us together. He wanted to come see the fights, and I was starting to get good at that time. And so then he started coming, because he was in Louisiana, he started driving to Texas and coming watch me fight and stuff like that. So I think
Was he a fighter as a kid?
My dad never was a fighter. I don't know where the fighting come from.
And was he an athlete?
He was an athlete. Yeah, my dad ran. He was a long distance runner. He ran and he played basketball.
Okay.
He played basketball at college, but he wasn't good.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't good, nothing like that. My first love was basketball.
Oh, okay.
I love basketball. Yeah. I had a picture. My mama sent me a picture when I was younger. I was like 9 or 10, and I had a basketball in my hand doing this. I love basketball. Allen Iverson was my favorite player. I wanted to be like Allen Iverson when I was young. I love basketball.
I had a partnership with Reebok for a couple of years, and he was one of the athletes there.
Yeah, I know.
He's such a good guy.
Man, it's crazy story, man. Get off subject, but I went. Matter of fact, here they had the Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fight in NGM. And one time, man, I was walking down and I saw him playing craps, playing roulette at the Allen Iverson, and somebody told me like, come see Allen Iverson here, and I went down like, damn, that's Allen Iverson. And the crazy thing, he knew who I was.
Oh, that's awesome.
I saw John Pascal, right? I saw John Pascal in the lobby too. We was all talking about it because
light heavyweight.
Yeah, light heavyweight. I saw him. Big dude, Canadian. So I know him. Yeah, me and he was in Dubai together stuff before. So we all was chilling, and so we saw each other. What's up? And so he saw Allen Iverson, and then Allen Iverson, because he didn't want, AI didn't want to be bothered by nobody. So he was just playing. He had his guys there and stuff like that, and he didn't want to be bothered. So John Pascal knew him, and I was with him. So he turned around like, oh, what's up, man? Talking to me. I'm like, damn, this AI, bro. This is like my hero, bro. Like, when I was younger, we all wanted to be, everybody wanted to be like AI. Yeah. Like the whole NBA is almost based off of him now.
Yeah,
you know, everybody got the tattoos and stuff, but back in the day, nobody wanted to be like that, you know. But it's like, man, it was crazy. Allen Iverson knew who I was.
He had that swagger, and he was real big appeal to like the inner city black kids too, because he didn't take no shit, and he talked like he was himself all the time.
Right.
Remember the rant he went on about practice?
Yeah, he was small. Yeah, I was with him. AI was small, man. I was doing all that stuff. It's crazy how big he not. You know, he like a regular person. He not that big.
Which is crazy how small he is, because I'm staying right now over here at the Four Seasons, and the summer league's going on. All the guys are there from the summer league. Dude, they're fucking giants.
I know.
Every single guy is like 6'7" and up.
Yeah. Right.
I was on an elevator this morning with Patrick Ewing, and he grew up right around the corner from me. Yeah, it was so cool. I was like, oh, Cambridge, I'm from Somerville. He's like, oh, what's up, man? Couldn't have been a nicer guy.
Really?
Oh, he's dapping up everyone in the elevator, women. He's just couldn't have been friendlier.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, man, AI, the fact that he was as small as he was and the impact that he had on the NBA is just crazy.
Yeah.
Just shows you, like, you know, no one can tell you who you are. The only opinion of you that matters is your own.
Is yourself. Right, exactly.
So when did you turn pro?
I turned pro April something, mid-April, maybe 18, 17, something, 2012. That's when I turned pro.
And who, at that point, who's your manager and who's picking the opponents? Because for the people that don't know, good pro boxers need to be developed. They need to be put in with the right opponents, and like we're going to talk about it. But you gotta pay the opponents to show up, not pay to lose. But you gotta. If a guy knows I'm going up against Regis, like you said, there's levels to boxing. You know this guy Regis is going to beat the brakes off of you. So the guy might be like, I want $5,000. So the promoter's going to say, I'm not paying this guy $5,000. So who has to pay it?
Me.
Exactly.
I had to pay.
So
it.
You're paying opponents not to lose, but to show up.
Yes.
They obviously they want to win, but they're probably not going to win.
Most
so
likely.
Who's managing that process? Because obviously from the jump, you don't know this. Like, who's explaining the rules of who's putting you onto the game?
My first manager his name was Jay Johns. So, you know, he was, I mean, looking back on it, I think he was a good manager because he matched me with the right people at the time. But the thing is, he didn't have the money. So just like you said, we had to pay these opponents. And so how we would pay them, I had to sell tickets. That's what I had to do. So about my first 10 fights, probably like 4 or 5 of those got paid zero, nothing. Like they give you a check $1.
Yeah,
that's $0.
It has to be a minimum.
They have to give you a check to say they paid you. It can't be free. So they give you a $1 check. I
hope you saved those checks.
I still have those checks.
Those checks should be framed next to the belts.
I have. That's it. I have them. I have a picture, and it's inside the picture. I have a big picture made of me, and it's inside the picture, a part of the picture. So yeah, I have those checks. But yeah, man, like, and I did that. Man, I did that about maybe my first 11, 12 fights, probably like, 10 fights for sure, probably like 4 of those. Maybe I think my 11th fight, I didn't get paid either.
So, but for people that don't know, like if you're like, let's say Oscar De La Hoya, you win a gold medal, you're going to get a manager who's going to be like, not only do you not have to pay the opponents, I'm going to make sure that you get paid 20, 30 grand. So the manager is essentially carrying you. He's giving you monthly money to live. Yeah. He's paying the opponents. And in exchange, he owns like what percentage of your contract? 33?
I had 33. But I didn't have 33 for mine, but I wasn't getting that. I was paying for my own bonus.
But he wasn't giving you a monthly stipend.
I wasn't getting, man, I had to work. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I mean. But a good pro.
A good manager, good manager.
A pro with a real big.
A record, yeah.
Amateur pedigree is going to get $5,000 a month. They never have to pay anyone. They're going to get paid $5,000 to every fight they fight. And then when they start winning, in theory, the manager's now going to keep, is 33 like the standard or some of it 50-50?
It's like, no, 33 is the standard like when you're starting off. Now when you, like for me, my end of my career is like 10 or something like that, 10%, you know.
But even like, someone like De La Hoya, I just use him as an example because he was like the goal, like he coming out of amateurs, he was like a sure thing.
Right.
he could probably say, no, I want all the stuff you described, but you're only getting 10%. The fighter can negotiate.
Yeah,
that,
of course.
Right?
You can definitely negotiate.
All right, so
sure.
your guy's getting a third of the money, but he's not paying anything. He's not wearing any risk, essentially. He's just captaining the ship.
He just getting the fights. I mean, he was a good manager as far as giving me the fights because he picked the right fights.
Kept you busy?
He kept me busy, picking the right fights for me and stuff like that. And so I had to do that for my first 10, 11 fights. I had to do that, and then I signed with DiBella.
Okay.
And so once
How did you get out of the contract with the manager though? Do they have time?
No, manager promoted 2 different things. So I was still in a contract with him when I was with DiBella.
But you didn't have a promoter.
I didn't have a
now
promoter
when you
at the
sign with
time.
DiBella, now you have Jay's your manager, Lou is your promoter.
Lou's the promoter. Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, they will, once you get the promoter, it does get easier.
Okay.
You get a promoter, then they have TV dates and stuff, and then once I think I fought my 15th fight, I fought on TV. That was my first TV fight. And so I think I signed with Lou probably after my 10th fight. Well,
okay.
I signed with him after my 10th fight, but I had 11 fight already scheduled, so I got that fight out the way. So really, I think 3 fights with Lou off TV, and then the first one on TV, and then it kind of took off from there.
And when you're fighting with Lou, how does that now work? Lou guarantees you a minimum purse for each fight?
Lou guaranteed me minimum. That was the good thing.
Do you remember what it was? Ballpark?
Like 5 to 7,500, some 5,000, 7,500, something. It depends on the rounds and stuff like that.
And then was it in the contract that if you get a TV fight, it steps up to?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you get a TV fight, now he starts stepping up. So that's the good thing. I ran through everybody.
I remember.
Man, I ran through everybody.
I remember every time I'd see your name, I'd be like, oh, someone's getting the shit kicked out of him. This guy is a savage.
Man, I ran through everybody. ShoBox, I fought on. So at first, when I first signed with Lou, like I said, after my 10th fight, I signed with him, but I had a fight over his schedule, so he let me fight my 11th fight off of that. 12, 13, 14, I ran through, knocked those dudes out. 15, I fought this dude named Amos Cohort. I did knock him out, but I broke like a ShoBox record. I think it was like over 1,000 punches in 8 rounds. I did something just threw a bunch of punches on him. After that, I knocked everybody out. ShoBox, so it was like Joel Diaz, I fought him. There was the same thing. There was Hall of Fame weekend in Kennesaw, New York.
Yeah.
I went to that. I knocked him out in the second round.
At the Turning Rock Casino?
Turning Stone
Casino.
I knocked him out in the second round. Then I fought somebody else. Knocked him out in the first round. Then I fought somebody else. Knocked him out in the second round. Then I fought Indongo. Then I fought somebody. I fought 5 times on ShoBox. I knocked everybody out. So that's when. And after that, I had a big fight in New Orleans, and then I signed with that I did the Super Series boxing. Then took off.
So was Lou still your promoter in Super Series, or was that a new deal?
He was he was still my promoter with the Super Series. I think for 1 fight or so. I don't know how he was involved, but by that time I had a new manager too. So
when did you get the new manager? I'm intrigued by the business side of it.
So right after, me and Jay had a contract for about 5 years, and they got extended because I got hurt. That's another thing that happened in my career. I got hurt. I had a eye injury. I got thumbed in my eye. That's the thing I could talk about too. I went broke. That's the crazy thing. When I was younger, I went broke. So I had an eye injury. What happened? I was sparring with this guy. He threw an uppercut. He would always throw uppercuts like this. So he thumbed in my eye, popped it, and I never
in sparring.
Okay. I was sparring for the fight. In sparring, popped it. So this was after, matter of fact, I think I fought Abel Ramos or something like that. So at the time, man, I told you I was a personal trainer. As a personal trainer, I was probably making like $1,000 a month, right? $12,000 a year, right? So I think I fought Abel Ramos. I probably think I made like $30,000. So for me, that's rich, right? That's really rich. You talk about, that's a lot of money for me at the time. So, after I fought him, I kind of stopped going to work and stuff like that. We started traveling. My wife Brazilian. We went to Brazil. She started working, all that type of stuff.
Oh, by the way, you get married right in the middle of this, right at the beginning of your career, right as you're start making money.
Yes, I got married early. I got married early to this thing, and we got married. I mean, I don't want to say nothing bad about it. We got married. She Brazilian, so to keep her here, we had to get married. And it ended up working out. Ended up working out good. We had 3 kids and stuff like that. So,
no, I met her. She's cool.
Yeah, I got real cool. Not together no more. Well, she cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's all good. But anyways, it popped my orbital bone. I was throwing up.
Broke your orbital?
Popped it. Broke it. It's a bone that holds your eye up.
Did it swell like a?
It didn't swell up, but I couldn't see, and I heard it pop. And like I told you, I was real durable in sparring. I don't care. You can whoop my ass. I'm coming. No matter what. I stopped sparring because I knew
Oh,
something
you
was
told
wrong.
them right there, like,
I was
stop?
like, yeah, something happened. You know, I was throwing up and stuff like that. They was like, go get checked. I went, they told me. So I was out and at first the doctor told me, I cried in the car. The doctor told me, you'll never fight again. That's it. Boxing done. I was like, what? Like, bro, I was in the car crying. Didn't know what I was like, what I'm gonna do, be a personal trainer forever? You know, like, you know, so then, but the thing is, I stayed in the gym the whole time. I couldn't spar nothing, but I went to gym every single day. If I was, sometimes
What'd your
I would
eye
just go
look
to
like,
gym.
like the day or two after? What did they do for it, and what did it look like?
At first they told me it would take surgery. I went and got like 4 different opinions.
Okay.
At first they told me surgery. They say you'll never do it again. You never box again. You have to have surgery. So then I waited, cried in the car, told my manager, told my trainer, I'm like, you know, they told me I'd never fight again. They said just wait, you know, so then after that I probably waited a few weeks. I went back. They said,
but there was no treatment at this point. They were just like, I have a broken face.
They said you can get a surgery. They told me I can get some type of surgery.
Yeah.
But I just was like, they said just wait. My manager and Bobby at the time, my trainer, he said just wait, just hold off, don't worry about it. They was more calm to me. I was like, man, they told me I'm never boxing again. So I was mad about that. So I went back a few weeks later. I went back. They said then it was getting better. They said, you probably don't need surgery, but you need to heal it, but you still can't box no more. It'll heal by itself, but you can't box. So then I waited. I went back. I went another doctor. They said, it's getting better. You know, it's getting better. You might can fight again. I was like, all right, that's better for me. Then I went back the last time. The doctor said, you good. It's healed. Like it's going to
It just
heal.
healed on its own. So it
Healed
just
on
like
its own,
had a
and it
crack,
got stronger.
but it didn't
healed
get like
stronger.
dislocated.
No, they say it healed, and it was on my left eye. They say it was healed, and it got stronger. And so he said, I said, what about boxing? He said, yeah, you can fight. Just don't get hit for like the next. I think he said,
you can fight, just don't get hit.
He said you can fight again. Just don't get hit for like the next. I think the next month or something like that. So we scheduled a fight. You know, we scheduled so I could still train and stuff like that. Like I said, the whole time it was 9 months. The whole time I was training. I would go to the gym just to hit the bag. Sometimes I would go to the gym just to punch the wall to make my knuckles harder. I was just going to the gym just to do this for like an hour, just hitting the wall, boom, 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 just make my knuckles harder. So when I got back and I'd be ready and just stand in shape, you know. And but yeah, I went broke. And I lost everything. I had to still go to work and stuff like that. So it was and I remember going to New Orleans and like Hakel was crying. She was like, I don't know what we gonna do. We ain't got the money for the rent. And I never felt nothing bad about it. Like I asked somebody, I asked her uncle, he paid, I had rent to pay. He paid for my rent was $1,000 a month at the time. He paid it. And I literally, the next fight I just paid him right back. Soon as the next fight I fought, because I had to get a tune-up fight again, I fought in Mississippi, right by New Orleans. It's like probably an hour and a half from New Orleans. So all my people from New Orleans came. I knocked dude out in the first round. The check was only $10,000. He gave me $4,000. I had to give him that. So literally all the money was gone because I had to pay my coach, my manager had to give me back his money. The $4,000, I got $10,000. So it's all gone. But
how much is the trainer getting? 10%?
10%. Usually the trainer get 10%.
All right, so you have the tune-up fight, and then what comes next? The boxing super series?
No, I think ShoBox. ShoBox was still there. At the time, yeah, ShoBox was still there. And it's crazy how things happen for me. It was like I always had something, an angel or something sitting on my shoulder because then that's when I fought Joel Diaz. And I stopped him in the second round.
Joel Diaz is an established, he's
Joel
a real
Diaz
guy.
Real good. Yeah, real guy. His dad is Joel Diaz Sr., which is a real
fucking
big
killer,
trainer.
man.
Yeah.
This is not, now you're fighting real guys.
Fighting real guys. And I went out, I stopped him in the second round.
Did he have a loss at that point?
No, we was both undefeated. He had more knockouts than I had wins. I think I was 19. I was 19-0 with 16 knockouts. I think he was 20-something-0 with 19 knockouts. I think he was probably like 22-0 with 19 knockouts. So it was a big fight.
Yeah.
And I stopped him in the second round.
Oh, that must have been good.
Yeah, it was.
How much you get for that fight?
Honestly, I forgot 60,000 or something.
So the biggest payday.
Yeah, that time biggest payday, sponsors and all that
stuff. After you
stuff.
pay your manager, your trainer, everything, how much you left with? Because the manager's getting the third, the trainer's getting 10%.
Yeah, about half. About half.
Okay.
About half or something like that.
When did you segue out of the contract with Jay and then sign with the new manager?
So that was my last fight. After that was my last
Joel
fight.
Diaz.
Joel Diaz.
So that manager that was a great trade for him because he ended up making tens of thousands of dollars and he spent zero to manage you.
Right.
Other than his time.
Right. But he could have had way more. So this is what happened with this. He could have had way more. If he would have, if he would have been greedy, he wanted to be greedy, right? So the contract ended.
A boxing manager wanted to be greedy. Holy shit!
Right, they don't know that, right? That's
Call the
crazy,
press,
right?
Call the media.
Right, exactly, right. So he wanted to be greedy, and he could have got way more. So at that time, that's when I fought for that amount, and then after that, I signed my name for I ain't gonna tell you how much money. I literally sign your name for this. I got money after that. But
What
I
were you
invited
signing
him.
away?
Well, to sign with a different manager.
Oh.
But I
Hold
told
on,
him.
I know what it is. You get $200,000 in cash.
Oh no, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say the amount. I don't say the amount. I ain't gonna say the amount.
More or less.
I'm not saying no amount. I ain't saying no amount on the camera.
All right, cool.
But
who did you sign with? How about
I signed with Churchill, with Peter Berg, Mark Wahlberg, and Sam was the manager.
Yeah, but it was Peter Welch and Mark Wahlberg were the face of that.
Peter Berg and Mark Wahlberg was the face of it, yeah.
Peter Berg, but Sam was like the day-to-day guy.
Was
and he ran the
guy.
Churchill gym in Santa Monica.
Sam did everything, But I invited Jay. I said, look, the contract over, but I still want you to be a part of it. But he wanted to be the full manager.
Yeah.
And then the contract was supposed to, he tried to get more money. I'm like, for more time and more, I think the first contract was like 5 years. He tried to get a contract for like 7 years. I'm like, for more money. I'm like the same 33%. I'm like, why would I do that? That's insane. The contract.
And when you have
over.
leverage, though, one thing just to clarify for the audience, when you have the leverage and you sign it with the new manager, the manager will give you a big signing bonus. Do you have to pay that back? Is it essentially an advance?
No, I mean they go get it back from your purse.
But they're gonna get the 33% now. But that signing bonus is just
no
it was a lower percentage.
Way lower.
Okay,
way
so let's just say it's 10%. Now I own 10% of you, and as a thank you, here's a check for $250,000, whatever it is.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you tell Jay, I've got this offer.
I didn't tell him that. I said, look, you can still, because I know I was a free agent. I literally just came off ShoBox. My record is 20-0 with 17 knockouts. I was ranked number 2 or something like that in the world.
Yeah.
And I'm a free agent.
Yeah.
I know what's coming my way.
Yeah.
I already know what's coming my way. So then after that, that's when I really started the money just started running.
And what year was that when you signed with Churchill? Is that around 15, 16?
Maybe 15 or 16.
Because I think that's when I met you.
Yeah, when I lived in LA.
Yep. Okay.
No, not when I lived there. No, that's before. No, I met you when I lived in LA.
Yes. I think I met you before you moved there. But yeah, I remember specifically that they signed you because they didn't have a ton of guys.
No, they had about 2 or 3 guys at a time.
But I remember Mark was involved. Mark Wahlberg was involved. Okay, so you tell Jay what? Hey, Jay.
I said, look, the contract over. I still use you. I still have you in the, but he gave me another contract, which was worse than the first one.
Yeah, okay.
Like, why would you give me a contract? Yeah. Insane. Like, it was like 7. The first one was 5 years. The second was 7 years. So you want me in almost my whole career?
Yeah.
No. And then it was for, I think, a bigger percentage. Like, why would I do that?
Wait, okay, so when you told him like no dice, what did he say? I'm going to sue you.
He didn't want to do it, and
he just said like, okay, get out of here.
He just didn't want to do it. I was like, you sure? Like, he didn't want to do it. So, all right. So then I went to LA, and that was it. Once I went to LA, they turned my mind, because I was out there. First off, they flew me out there. They flew with me and all my people out there. I met with Wahlberg and Peter Berg, went to the movie set, all that stuff. We on the beach. They put me up in nice hotels right on Santa Monica Beach. I'm like,
Shutters?
I forgot what the name of the hotel was.
But then all of a sudden, like you just described your childhood, you're like living in garages a few years before.
Yes.
Now you're with Mark Wahlberg, flying first class, staying at the nicest hotels.
Hotel on the water, right in Santa Monica Beach. I'm like, man, it's no way. You
must have felt like you hit the lottery.
Yes, it's like, there's no way I'm going back. I can't go back.
Okay.
I can't go backwards.
Because you got good taste. Like,
now
you got
I do. I didn't have it at the time.
taste.
I didn't have it at the time, but now I do. It's like it was just an eye opener for me. We was on the beach, man, at the time with the girls. It was just, I loved it.
I mean, just now seeing you pull in this beautiful, like, top of the line Porsche, I'm like, oh man, he made it. I love it. I love to see it because I know where you came from, and to see this is just awesome. Yeah. So who's the first fight you have under the new management? What's the first fight? Or is that the boxing?
I think it's Julius
Super Series?
Indongo. No, Julius Indongo. So I fought him, same thing, knocked him out second round. Knocked Julius Indongo out second round. And that really put me on the map because the fight before that, Crawford stopped him, but Julius Indongo was a former unified champion. He had 2 belts, and him and Crawford fought for undisputed And Crawford stopped him in the third. I stopped him in the second round. So that really put my name up there. I really beat the hell out of Julius Indongo. And Julius, if you look at the height difference, Julius, I was looking up to him. He was so tall. He was like 6'1" or something like that.
For a fight like that, are you at all, I know the answer, but are you at all intimidated?
No, I wanted to hurt him.
Do you ever remember going into a fight and feeling like, oh shit, man, this guy is really good? I'm
probably my last at the end of my career. Okay. I tell people now, don't judge me after 35.
Yeah.
Don't judge my fight.
Yeah, no, I say the same thing.
I say don't judge me 35 and before. If you look at 35 and before, I lost one fight.
Yeah.
I lost to Josh Taylor, and I still thought I won that fight.
So we'll get into it. That fight with Josh Taylor was, I remember watching LA with my wife, because my whole family knows you, right? We've been friends for a long time, and I remember my wife's like, I think she might even have been crying afterwards, and I'm like, dude, it was a great fight. Sometimes you can win even if you lose.
That's what I felt like. I won after I lost.
All right, so back to like where you are in the journey with Churchill. So they get you in Indongo, you jack him, beat the shit out of him. They must be thinking like, we hit the jackpot.
Probably
this guy is awesome.
I whooped Indongo real bad. Then after that, we fought before the Super Series. I fought in New Orleans. I fought Jose Velasco in New Orleans. I stopped him in the 8th round. Then after that, we go to the World Super Series.
And what is that?
The World Super Series at the time, it was a tournament, the best in the world. If you sign up, it's like, I loved it because I always wanted that. Like, you have to fight this. There's no ducking in that.
That's right.
You have to fight. The winner fights this win. The winner fights
this winner. It's like a bracket.
It's a bracket. You have to fight. So really, and it kind of went the way I thought it was gonna go. I felt like I was gonna fight either Josh Taylor or Ivan Baranchyk, because that was the bracket how it was. The bracket, it was like this. It was like me on this side. Everybody felt like I was the favorite going to the whole tournament. I was the favorite going to the tournament. So on my side, and then it's this side. And for me, I thought it was like the either Ivan Baranchyk or Josh Taylor was gonna be the opponent for me. So I remember meeting him and stuff, and I'm just looking at him, and we kind of, sizing each other up and stuff like that. And I felt, because we met in Moscow. And like I said, man, that's like, for me coming from New Orleans, I know. Being in Moscow,
I know,
it's insane. Like, I had just fought in New Orleans. I was the only one that just fought too. Josh, he had to leave because he had a wedding or something. He had got married. Something, I don't know, something he had going on, but we all met there for the thing. We had to go take pictures and do all this.
That was for like the pre-tournament press conference.
Press conference and all that type of stuff. And I was sizing him up, sizing Baranchyk up, but I just felt like that was gonna be the fight. So everybody, like, I was the favorite though going into the fight. I was the favorite of the whole tournament, but I just. Yeah, man, I love that. I love that experience.
And that trophy was so insane, that cool trophy.
Big old trophy, man, with the belts and stuff. For me, that was better. Like, it would have been better than the belts to me. Josh Taylor got it, but it was...
There's a great picture of Usyk with every single light heavyweight, what was he, the cruiserweight?
Cruiserweight at the time.
He had all the cruiserweight belts like this and that big ass trophy. Man. I had that picture for a long time. I got those like pictures behind me, and I had that picture up there for the longest time because it just looked so cool. He had everything. Right. Undefeated, Olympic gold medal, every single cruiserweight belt, and the friggin'
Usyk is a bad man.
He's a real bad man. He's a bad boy.
Yeah, he is.
All right, so you run through everyone. I remember like it was yesterday. And then you get in Josh Taylor, probably like 18, 19.
I think 19. Yeah, 2019, because that's when I became, the fight before that became a world champion.
Yep.
He did too.
We both became during the tournament, there happened to be a fight for a title. One of the guys had the belt. Who was it?
Career Relic.
And he had what belt?
The WBA.
Wow, what weight?
140.
Junior welt?
Junior welterweight, 140.
Okay, so you beat him and you take your first world title and you move on to the finals.
Then I go to the finals against Josh Taylor.
You must have been like riding a high, like, dude, I loved it.
I loved it. And I didn't think the fight was going to happen. And the thing is, they kind of, I don't know if it's the DiBella thing or what, but they kind of forced me into a corner because it's like, and I'm glad the fight happened over there, but why? I'm the number one seed in a tournament. I'm expected to win the whole thing. They made me go over there, to the UK and stuff like that to go fight. Like, why would I do it?
From Scotland.
Yeah, so it's basically his backyard.
Of course,
it
makes a big difference.
It does make a big difference. I do feel like if the fight was here in the United States, I would have.
It was razor thin. It could have gone either way.
It could have went either way. I do feel like, but still, even leading up to the fight, all the stuff and camp and all that stuff, like we had to just all the adjustments we had to do. And one thing we had to do, they kind of, I'm not gonna say tricked me into doing, but I had so much media to do out there. When I was in the UK, I was doing so much media. They wanted me to do so much stuff, and it's like while they're doing it, they playing tricks with your mind. I'll talk about that too for other fights coming up. The media could get in your mind.
Of course.
The media could really, really get in your. They have these narratives, and they can kind of get in your mind and stuff like that. So man, at the time I was doing I know he was probably just training and resting, and I was doing media. They had me, man, some days I was like in a car for about 7 hours just in traffic, because London, super traffic, a lot of traffic.
That's
out
the thing
there.
is, like, I wish that at the time, like, I had more of a role with you other than just friends to be like, nah, he ain't doing any of this shit. Because
Man.
without winning, we don't have anything to tell.
Exactly.
You know how it is, and you know from having that loss, it's like when you're the winner, it's like the train keeps rolling. The loser is like back of the line.
Right.
And especially in boxing, where one loss can be devastating. It shouldn't be that way, because a lot of times you come back better than before the loss.
Yeah, I love my loss. I needed my loss.
I just wish that someone would have said, like, nah, Regis, after we win, we'll do whatever you want. But during this last few weeks, no.
Yeah, it was that. Bobby said some of that a little bit, but because they wanted me to do way more stuff. Man, they wanted me to, because I was freediving, I was freediving, right?
Yeah.
And spearfishing and stuff like that at the time. They wanted me that when I was living in LA, they wanted me to jump in the London, whatever, the river.
The Thames.
They wanted me to jump in there and go to the bottom and go out there. And it was raining, it was cold. But I was like,
It's cold and it's disgustingly
my dumb ass
dirty.
wanted to do it. I was like, I can because it's like 50 feet. I can go to 50 feet.
Yeah.
They was like, yeah, go do that and see if you could do it. We record it. I'm like, Bobby was like, hell no, he got to fight. Why would he do that?
Yeah.
So and then I had to film at museums. I had to do all kinds of stuff like that. Walking through all the people and crowd, and I'm pretty sure. And my dad was there at the time. He was like, why y'all doing this? Like, you probably doing all this media. And Josh Taylor probably.
But they're taking advantage of your naivete. They're probably like, you don't know any better, and you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know no better. Looking back on it, but I didn't know no better.
And at this point, you're training with Bobby.
Bobby's the trainer. Bobby's
What's
the head
his
coach. Bobby Benton.
Bobby Benton. He's a good coach.
Bobby, good coach.
So he was working with you for that. Okay, so coming into the fight, like, what'd you think during the fight? I remember towards the end, I think we talked about this. Maybe you got a little tired in the late rounds, because I remember thinking, like, oh, come on, close this out. You can do this.
Yeah. I didn't feel like I got tired, man. I don't know. Like, so the early rounds, I came out, I remember, I outboxed them. I was outboxing them, but then we got into the fight. And so we got to the fight, he kind of stepped it up. We got into a fight. I think it made it a little close and stuff like that. But what happened was, one of my other trainers, Chris Hernandez, I forgot which round it was, but he came, he was like, man, what you doing? You gonna give up all this whole way, step it up. And so that's when I woke up and I started stepping up, but it probably, like I said, maybe it was too late. Maybe I could have stepped up a round or two before that, but I remember hitting him. I remember, like, coming out even in the first round, hitting him with body shots, and I heard, and just outboxing him, moving. He couldn't, the thing is, he couldn't outbox me at all.
Was his eye all swollen shut?
His eye was swollen shut. His
like
eye was
bad, real bad.
It was real bad. His eye was swollen shut, and I was hitting him. Remember backing him up and all that type of stuff. But one thing in the fight, I talked about this a bunch of times. Man, it was one round. I think it was round 9. And I remember he threw a jab. He threw a real hard jab. He stepped in. Boom. He was southpaw too. He stepped in with a real hard jab. Because he couldn't touch me, because at the time I was real slippery. My head was just always doing this, so it was just, things was just going, so he had to hit me in the body and stuff, like all getting the inside and try to hit me. But from the outside, he couldn't hit me. I was just outboxing him. So, but I remember one time, I think it was round 9, he stepped in a real hard jab, and I slipped it, easy too, real easy, and it hit me on my shoulder, and I heard the crowd say, ah, and I'm like, damn, I'm probably gonna lose. That's when I thought it. I'm like, damn, I'm probably gonna lose, because they thought that punch landed. I knew the punch didn't land.
Yeah.
It didn't land at all. Like, I remember him stepping a real hard jab, and it was real vivid. And I slipped either right or left. I went, boom, something like that, and it just hit me on my shoulder, and I heard the crowd, like something happened.
Again, with that whole crowd can affect the judges too, because the judges are human beings. They're watching the fight.
Too.
They're listening to the reaction, like, you look down for a split second. Those guys, again, they're human. They've had caught judges looking at their phone during the fight. Like, they're just fucking people.
Right.
And a lot of times they're not even like good people.
Yeah, exactly.
So it isn't like well, the judges said this, like, yeah, okay, well, fucking I said that. My opinions are just as valid. Just so happens that they're the ones that are assigned the fight, and they're in the UK. And again, the fight was razor thin. I didn't feel like
it was a close.
I didn't feel like he got robbed. I felt like this could be a draw.
It could go either way,
but it was home. But he had that deep amateur pedigree. I would say on paper, if two people were looking at it, I feel like the promoters could be like, who could be more marketable here? The white kid from Scotland who has like this, he's a handsome kid. Right. I mean, you're both handsome, but like I could just see like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all these things influence the decision, and I'm just wondering, like, was all that shit going through your head? Because I remember thinking, like, he has to beat this guy up to get a decision.
Yeah, it was going through my head in the beginning and stuff, because that was the narrative going into the fight. Everybody was saying that you got to knock him out. And I thought I was going to knock him out. Yeah. I definitely thought.
I did, too.
I thought I was going to stop Josh. For me, I thought I was going to stop Josh.
Was he an Olympic gold medalist?
He was Olympic something. A silver, something. I don't know.
But he had that deep amateur pedigree. He was the best competition to that point, right?
I'm going to give him credit for this. He wasn't scared of me.
No.
He wasn't scared of me.
I remember the trash talking wasn't crazy aggressive, but I remember thinking like, oh, this kid is just as confident as Regis.
He was confident. He wasn't scared of me, because going to all the fights, I can feel my opponents. I can look at them. I can see they got a little something. They might be a little fearful.
Even with
Indongo
and Diaz.
I think Diaz was confident, but I think Diaz was confident. Indongo, I think he was confident too, but I think he underestimated me.
Yeah.
And I think Diaz underestimated me too. But they had false confidence. Josh Taylor had real confidence.
Yeah,
he didn't underestimate me. He thought he was better than me. That's why. So he wasn't scared of me. But he didn't underestimate me. He knew how good I was, but he still thought he was, he still thought he was better than me. That's why he wasn't scared. I could tell he wasn't scared of me. Sometimes you could tell, look at people's eyes, you could tell. He not scared. So I do give him credit for that.
That's the one thing I loved about you too before the fight. If the opponent kept it respectful and was just like, yeah, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna do this, then you would do that. But if the opponent wanted to get tough and talk shitty, even when you had the dispute with your strength guy, it was like, hey, we have this dispute, let's settle it. Oh, you want to go public with everything? Okay, let's go public. And right. You're not afraid to get like down in the mud with people, but that isn't your preference. Whereas Floyd Mayweather just wanted to like get down there, or Gervonta Davis, they want to be down. Like certain guys like love that nastiness. Or like a Broner is the worst.
AB.
That guy.
Yeah.
That poor guy, man, looks like he's come apart at the seams. But after the fight, though, it looked like you and Josh Taylor developed almost like a friendship.
I mean, not a friendship. It was just a mutual respect. It was just a respect type of thing we took. He actually texted me like, "How you want to have a burger or something like that?" We met, we talked, and that was it. It was, it was all good.
But respect to him, because he, like you said, he had mad confidence. He was, borderline respectful. Like it wasn't crazy, but he was like,
the thing, because we were sitting across each other and like we was looking at each other, and I could tell like, all right, he not scared. I mean, he was like, oh, you this, and he was like, I can see through your fake bravado and stuff like that. I was like, this ain't fake. Like I said, you gonna get it. Like you gonna see, you gonna get it. So we was both real confident. We both was like super confident in ourselves, because I'm always like, I'm cocky, confident,
but you're not a bully.
But I'm not a bully. I'm just cool about it. That's why I'm like, all right, you gonna see. I don't gotta be scared. I'm not scared of nothing like that, but I'm just like, I'm cool.
I thought, to be honest, looking at the both of you, I thought he came across more like a bully. It felt like his behavior was more bullyish, but credit to him, like it's all part of the game. Like you said, it's the first person I felt that wasn't scared, but like who even gives a fuck? At the end of the day, you're gonna get in and punch each other in the face.
Yeah.
But that stuff all matters.
Right.
And he played that game perfectly. Like he did everything he had to do to beat you and just beat you by like a point, right?
Right. Yeah. I should have stepped up a little earlier, but it is what it is.
So what happens after that fight?
After that,
and by the way, how much did you get for the World Series?
I talk about money. I ain't talking about money. I don't talk about no money. I don't talk about money.
I would only ask you about stuff that is potentially public. That stuff wasn't public?
No, because people were saying stuff online what they thought, but it wasn't true.
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I typically ask pro athletes, like the stuff's public, but I get it with boxing, so I didn't mean to offend you about the money, so I'm sorry.
Yeah, I talk about the money.
All right, but it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like life-changing.
Yeah. I actually, after that, I went to, the crazy thing, bro, like, so we thinking like, when I was younger, I thought, man, you lose, you feel so bad. Man, I lost and I felt good. Like, the crazy thing, like, I'm not saying good from the loss, but like in life, I felt good. Man, I was living in LA at the time. I went back and I was like, I went back home. I used to be, spearfishing. I was on Malibu just looking like, I love life. Yeah. Then I went to Hawaii. I like, I love it. Like, I'm loving life. Then after that, right after that was like Christmas. Then I bought my mama a house. Before I bought my house, I bought my mama her house or whatever. I surprised her with a house. I bought it cash, $315 or something like that. Yeah. Just cash money. Bought my mama a house. It's like, damn, bro. I'm just.
How'd she react?
She cried. She loved it. And tell you a story about that. A whole different story. But at the time, she liked the house and stuff like that. And it was like, I was just like, I just felt good. I just felt real good about life. Life was just really, really good. So it's not even about wins or losses. Like, man, I just felt like good about life, period.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I love about you is you do the most exotic traveling of anyone. Again, you wouldn't think that this kid from like the area in New Orleans where you're from now is like traveling all over the world, but I call you, you'd be like, yo, I'm in Bangkok or like some other crazy right. place, and I'm like, who you with? Oh, I'm with a friend, or I'm with Raquel. Like, you just did it.
Yeah, man.
So what was the story? What happened with the house with your mom? You said there's a crazy story.
Oh, crazy! I don't put on blast. She didn't want it. She didn't want the damn house, but. Talk about that a whole different time. Yeah, but she eventually in and out. But it ended up being a good thing because she didn't want it. I turned it into investment.
Oh, perfect.
I turned it into investment property. I put it as Airbnb. It worked out good for me at the time, so it was cool. But yeah, I remember just after that. But then after that, I was living in LA. Then I moved back to Texas.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe LA made me a little soft too. That's why I was thinking like, damn, maybe, because that was the first fight I moved to LA after I fought Relic. After I won a title, then I moved to LA. I was like, I gotta be here, because we did camps. We used to go to LA for 2 weeks, and do a camp for 2 weeks. And I remember, and I still got one of the videos. We was in the Palisades. You lived in Palisades, right? Yeah, we was in I love the Palisades, man. We was in the Palisades in the house for camp, and man, I just loved waking up every day, being in the Palisades.
Palisades was heaven on earth to me.
It really
I never felt better about myself when I was there.
I loved it.
And listen, it's crazy expensive, and there are some dickheads. Anytime you get expensive area, you get these arrogant dickheads. But most of the people were awesome. Like Cheech from Cheech and Chong lived down the street. Chris Bosch had a house like in the neighborhood. Like you see these people everywhere. Ben Affleck, Steven Spielberg lived across the way. But the view from my house, I mean, it was stupid expensive. But the view from my house of the ocean on one side, then I lived up in the mountains, and just being out there in the mountain, it was heaven on earth.
Man, it really was. I love that.
So who was the fight after Josh Taylor?
Then I had to go back down. I fought. So I had to wait a year after. So
why?
Pandemic.
Oh, that's right. So I remember we recorded some content for like The Zone. They were like, hey, let's see if you guys have chemistry, and we were doing a bunch of stuff together.
Right, because I was supposed to fight Maurice Hooker.
Yes.
I had a fight with Maurice, so that's what happened. I was in camp for Maurice Hooker.
He was nice.
Yeah, pandemic hit. After pandemic hit, we tried to revisit with The Zone, and he blew up to 147.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not fighting at 47. I'm gonna fight at 40. I want to be a champion. I was so adamant about being a 2-time champion. Yeah. That's what I really wanted to do. So I was like, I'm not going to 47, 44, 43. No, I'm going to 140. That's why. No, I think we said 43 or something like that, and we just couldn't.
But Hooker just had a hard time with weight. Always.
He couldn't make the weight. He was too big. So that fight got scratched. And then after I had to wait more. So then I ended up moving back to Texas, and then I fought Gervonta. When Gervonta fought Leo Santa Cruz, I fought on that. And I fought a dude, and I stopped him third round. They was all thinking, oh, he washed up. He had his chance at the top. And I fought Juan Heraldez. Same thing. I stopped him. I stopped him in like the third round. And so they're like, all right, he's still who he is.
Do you remember, though, after the Josh Taylor fight, I feel like the promoter basically was like, oh, Regis, all right, back down, like almost like disrespectful in a way. They're like, you're down to like fucking undercard fights. And like, I remember thinking like you were fighting almost like a club at some point. I'm like, what is going on here? The guy lost a razor-thin fight to this like super.
They put you back. They put you down. It's like called the boxing purgatory. Once you lose a fight in boxing, that's kind of what they do. But for me, I always believed in myself. I moved back to Texas. I got back on my grind. Like I said, I feel like when I was in LA, I was kind of spoiled. I loved LA too much. It was like when I lived there, it was like we had pandemic. It was like a party house type of thing. It was like, it was too much going on.
I remember thinking like, dude, there's too many fucking people in this house.
We had a bunch of people in the house. We was playing pandemic. We was playing ping pong every day, just enjoying. We had people over there every day. It's like, nah, that's not the fighter's lifestyle. No. And I did a lot of mistakes in my career, but that's, but then I had to lock back in. I moved back to Texas and I locked in and, back around my trainers and stuff, like back in the gym, back around my trainers. And I came back, got back on the winning trail. I fought Juan Heraldez, I fought Ivan Redcatch, and I fought Terrell McKenna, and I stopped all them. Then after that, I get the shot with Zepeda, the world title shot.
Because the thing is, with boxing, like, you're the prospect, now you're the man, and you're the main event, and everyone's coming to see you. One loss, even as close as that was to Josh Taylor, it's not like, all right, he's in with the next number one contender. You're either like the man or an opponent.
Right.
And it's like, because who wants to fight you? Like, you theoretically could have been the best in the world. I don't want to fight. If you have a prospect who's 19-0 with 16 knockouts, you're not putting him in with Regis. Regis is going to run him over.
Well, that's what they try to do.
And the game's over for their fighter. So they're like, now, what do we do with Regis? They're like in this, unless you're a mega draw because you're an Olympic gold medalist, you're in a tough spot. And were you feeling this? Like, fuck, I'm in this terrible spot.
Yeah, it was. I definitely felt it. Yeah, nobody wanted to fight me. Or they wanted to put me in there with the prize, but they did. They put me in there with Juan Heraldez, one of the guys out here in Vegas, and he thought my time was up.
Yeah.
I stopped him. They was like, damn.
So you get 3 big wins after Josh, like 3 relatively easy wins for you, and then who do you face?
Zepeda for the belt.
Oh, okay, it's for the WBC.
The WBC. And
where was that fight?
That was in L.A.
Okay, what happened?
In L.A. Stopped him. Same thing. Stopped him in 11 round, and I'm back being a world champion.
What year was that?
22, 22, 23, one of those years.
And do you remember the post-fight interview where you're like, did you lash out like, yo, you guys thought you were done with me, I'm back?
I don't even know. I just was so excited. Like, that's what I wanted to be. I waited 3 years for that. 3 years to be a champion again. And that's why I was so adamant about not fighting Maurice Hooker, because I wanted to be a champion at 140.
Yeah.
I kept my weight down. I did everything. I didn't blow up or nothing like that. I stayed training every single day. And I was like, I'm going to be a champion at 140 again. Yeah. And it was like, it took me a long time, but I did it. And it just felt like super good to be there.
Yeah, I remember seeing you get that belt. I was like, oh,
like that.
I think
and then
the WBC
end up
is like
being a free agent again. So it's like, man.
So the management contract ran out
then
with
my management
Peter
contract
and those
ran.
guys.
Yes.
By the way, during this, one of the things of signing with Peter is nice is he's like a world-renowned, one of the best directors in the world, producer, director. He put you in some movies.
Got some movies, and it was the one in Boston, Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg,
yes.
And then I did one with called Bayou Caviar with Cuba Gooding Jr. That was shot in New Orleans.
How was that?
It was cool, man. I mean, I don't see myself being an actor because you gotta be on a movie set all day, especially the one we did in Boston, man. I was in Boston in January.
Yeah.
Cold, super cold. I was like, no, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so when I was
it's an opportunity for you to wear all your fancy designer clothes in your winter
gear.
No,
we had to wear the stuff. We had to wear the set clothes. I had to be like a gangster or something like in the movie, so I had to wear what they put on me. But it's crazy because when I was there, well, Pete was there. When I first came, Pete was there. He was the director. So I was in his trailer, laying down, sleeping, all that type of stuff. I remember one time I went in his trailer, and it was all nice. He got a big, nice trailer. Him and Wahlberg came in there. Wahlberg, his son, they came in there talking and stuff. They're like, who was sleeping? They saw me. They came in. They saw me. I was laying down. I was like up, sleeping. And you had like a
small parts of the other actors who have major roles. Yes. They're probably all intimidated, like, oh shit, there's Mark and Peter. Meanwhile, you're in there with your feet up.
I'm in there sleeping. I hear them in there talking stuff. I'm in there sleeping. I'm like, I'm tired as hell. I'm in there sleeping. And they in Pete trailer, in this bed, in his trailer and stuff like that. Because he said, yeah, come in here. So I'm in there. But then when Pete left, man, you just saw the trailer. It was like a bathroom. The trailer was so small because he left and then they took his trailer away. And I had to be there for like one more day.
Oh, with your own trailer. They had you like a porta potty.
Yeah, with my trailer. I'm like, oh, this what y'all got? The extra trailer. I'm like, oh, this what y'all got to get? Hell no.
I got a similar funny story for you. In 2000 or 2001, I was working at Cantor Fitzgerald in London, and we took a bunch of people to the Monaco Grand Prix, Monte Carlo, and they rented 2 mega yachts. So we had all these like customers and high-profile people, and there was a guy, I think it was Ryan Giggs, who played for Manchester United. By the way, I don't know any of them. Right. So, and the people I'm with who are British, they're they're looking at these guys like it's Tom Brady and Sugar Ray Leonard. And I'm like, what do you guys do? Oh, we play soccer, football. I'm like, oh, cool. For who? Manchester United. I'm like, oh, yeah, I've heard of them. Like, I knew nothing about it. So I go in. I was drinking, doing drugs at this time in my life. So during the day before the race, there's like time trial. So I fall asleep on a sofa in the main saloon of this mega yacht. There's just people everywhere. So I wake up and I'm kind of awake, but my eyes are still closed, and there's like 3 or 4 guys talking, and the guy's like, yeah, British guys, like, yeah, they gave me and I think they're bankers. I think they all work at Cantor, or they're guys like, yeah, I got a signing bonus. I think they're giving me like 15 million pounds, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking, whoa, what fucking trading desk is this guy on? 15 million pounds. I go outside. I'm like, dude, see that guy right there? I think he works at Cantor. He just got a 15 million pound signing bonus. The guy's like, are you fucking crazy? That's Ryan Giggs. He's like one of the best football players. I think it could have been someone else. But Ryan was there because that's the guy who I was talking to. He's like, yeah, I play football. And I'm like, oh. He must have thought like, what a dope, this guy doesn't know me. But it was the funniest thing because I woke up thinking like, oh my God, I'm being grossly underpaid.
Right.
All right, so the movie wraps up, and then that's one of the benefits of working with Peter as the manager and Mark is like you get these opportunities.
Yeah, you get opportunities to go out there, go to Boston, and get paid just to like have fun, be on the set and stuff. But it was.
So when that contract ends, they don't want to renew?
I don't know, but I think they broke up. I think Churchill kind of.
Yeah, there was some kind of conflict.
Something happened with Sam and Pete and stuff like that. Something happened because I still talk to Pete. I still talk to Pete to this day. Me and him still cool.
I met him at your house. Super nice guy.
Yeah, sure did. Right. So Pete was Pete. I still talk to him. He's still cool. I can still, we still cool. But I think Sam stayed in boxing. Pete didn't really want to stand. Pete just.
That was like a side hustle. That was just a passion thing for him.
Pete wanted to be in the dressing room with the fighters.
Yeah.
Pete just like boxing. He go at his gym, go spar and stuff like that. He just want to have a few fights just to do it, But Sam,
and if you're the manager and you win a belt, like he could get himself a copy of the belt and have those in his office.
Right.
And honestly, for myself, like I'd want to do that. When I worked with Teddy Alice, we trained Alex Vosdick for a light heavyweight unification fight WBC we had, and Better BF had IBF. And then we were like, if we win these, we'll get both of them. And I'm thinking selfishly to myself, like, I'll just get a copy of each of those belts because the organization will send the fighter as many belts as he wants.
Right.
I'm like, oh, come on. So I get it from Pete's. It's like a passion thing for him. But and the money is, those guys are super
He don't care
rich.
about that stuff. Yeah, he just wanted to do it. And like I said, but Sam stayed in boxing. So they broke up and stuff.
And Sam didn't seem like a boxing guy. He was like kind of like.
Sam was a good manager at the time. I think Sam was a good manager. He did some stuff that we didn't agree on, but
but he didn't come across to me like a boxing guy. Like he didn't come from boxing. He was Pete's partner, right?
He was running a gym.
Yeah.
He kind of, but that's what he wanted to do. So Sam's still a boxing.
He's a nice guy. It just didn't strike me as a boxing.
I saw him at the last fight in London when I fought Conor Benn. He was at one of his fights.
Okay, so what happens after with the free agency? Who comes around? Who ends up being your manager?
Oh man, this is a mess right now. So then I let some friends, some people not even friends, some people I'm getting sued right now because I let some people getting in my mix. People just wanted to be in there, people want to kind of be in my mix and stuff. I let some people in there, and even right now, I'm still going through that. I still got pay lawyers and shit.
I wish in hindsight that you had called me and said, hey, because I always like give you unbiased opinion and just be like, don't do that. That you would have said like, hey, here's what I'm facing, and I would have said, at this stage of your career, I'd argue you don't need a manager.
I needed one, but not them.
Yeah, but you don't need, you need an opinion. You probably need more of a lawyer who's worked in boxing.
Right.
There's a handful of them. David, there's a guy from New York, really good guy, David something. I'm spacing on his last name. But you just need someone to look over the contracts and basically a lawyer. And you know what you're doing at that point. So who'd you end up, what happened?
My trainer at the time, he came to my house and...
Bobby.
Not Bobby. Evans, the strength and conditioning coach.
Oh, Evan, the big muscle black guy.
We got, he came, he was like, man, you need to hire my friend. He this, he that. And at the time, I didn't want to manage it because the stuff Sam did. I wasn't trusting nobody, because Sam did some stuff that I was like, man, he put me in some mess and stuff like that. So then I was like, I didn't know who to trust. I really didn't. It was a hard thing for me. So I let somebody, maybe I did talk to you about that, but I didn't tell you what I was doing. But anyway, so I had this other dude come in. He was like, one of Evan's friends came in. He was like, oh man, let him do this, let him work for you. I'm like, all right. So then the dude came to my house, and it took a while. I didn't trust him at first anyway, but it took a while. And he was like, Champ, he looked in my face, Champ, I'll never charge you a dime. And now he sued me. But anyways, you know, like,
how's he gonna make money if he's not charging you a dime? And why would he do this?
Well, his thing was he wanted to put people underneath me. That's why.
So he wanted to be a manager and say, I manage Regis, although he doesn't pay me, and now I can sign all these younger guys.
He wanted to open a promotions company in my name and run these guys under the.
I got it.
Bring a bunch of guys. All so right. That's how he was getting paid.
In theory, it sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. But at the time, I told you, I was a free agent. I was like I was the world champion, a free agent.
So you could have got another big signing bonus from a manager, theoretically.
Yes, I probably could have. But that's when I went and signed with Matchroom. I had deals. That's when I had a deal from Matchroom and from Top Rank, and I ended up going Matchroom way.
Okay.
But I let him be in the mix, and like I said, and it's still costing me right now.
How did that go sideways though? If he didn't have a deal to ever get paid under you, what happened? What went bad?
He just said he sued me. He literally said,
for what?
He said he was my manager. He said
okay,
he was
so
my
what
manager.
was he entitled to that he didn't get?
He shouldn't be getting nothing. But
if the contract said, I'm your manager,
we don't have a contract. We never had a contract.
Oh, okay.
We never had no type of.
Does the Ali Act protect this? Where a fighter guys are trying to get paid for a fighter. Like, what did you do for me? I got the deal.
Supposedly he did stuff. I don't know, but I had another friend doing things for too.
You got the deal with Matchroom.
I got to deal with Matchroom.
So what did he do to say, I'm going to sue you because you didn't pay me
I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what he was doing at all. But I had the thing is, like, this was a while ago now. Okay. I mean, this was like 2-3 years ago now. So he was suing in Texas. If somebody sue you, and I let it go because he don't have a contract. He said he'll never charge me, none of that stuff. So for me, I let it go for a long. I got stuff to the house, like, I don't care. But I saw the lawyer like, nah, you gotta take care of this, because it could be serious. So I had to hire a lawyer, I had to pay a lawyer to kind of deal with this stuff.
Well, you would expect that a lawyer would say, even if you didn't, like, yeah, you should deal with this and hire me.
Yeah, well, he said you gotta deal with this stuff. Right. Yeah, right. So I gotta pay a lawyer to get that off me.
So in the meantime, you signed with Matchroom.
Signed with Matchroom.
Now you're the champion. What's the next fight?
Then I fought Zarilla in New Orleans. Wasn't a good fight. I dropped him, got the decision, but it was a close fight. He just ran around. Yeah. So then that's when everybody started figuring out how to fight me too.
Yeah.
That's when everybody figured stay away.
Because now you're also a world champion, so everyone is watching everything that you do.
Everybody. So when he ran around, that's when everybody figured out how to fight me. Everybody just move. Don't stand in front of me because I'm a fighter. People couldn't figure it out, but Zarilla the thing is he did that because he was a last minute replacement. I was supposed to fight, I forgot the dude's name. The dude I was supposed to fight, he actually became a world champion at 147. He's won a belt. Liam Powell. I was supposed to fight Liam Powell.
Oh,
Liam
wow.
Powell just became a world champion. I was supposed to fight him, but he got hurt in camp. And then Zarilla was the last minute replacement.
Okay.
And he ran around. Literally, he just stayed around the whole time. For 12 rounds, he just ran around the ring because he was last minute. He just can't
so you beat him in a decision. You got the WBC belt. What's next?
Still got Devin Haney. Then I fought Devin. Haney.
That one, as your friend, that one was hard to watch.
Yeah. He beat me 12-0. Just beat me. And that, I'm not going to take nothing away from Devin. Because Devin was good. I think, like, no matter what, that night I would have lost. No matter what. That night I would have lost to him no matter what. Like,
why?
But because mentally I wasn't there.
What was going on? Because that's out of character for you. Because I know the guy I know is, like, ready to fight in the parking lot, at the gym.
Just getting, there was, between the press conference, getting in my head and stuff like that. I did a whole camp in LA. I did like a 3-part camp. First off, camp was too long. I did like a 4-month camp. Started off, of course, in Houston, and then the fight kept getting pushed back, stuff like that. Then I went to LA, then went back, and then went back to LA again, just going back and forth, messing with girls. Man, our house was like, the camp house was just, the camp house just not focused. That's the main thing. We just wasn't focused in there. Like, it wasn't just me. I had my sister in there, my coaches, having girls there. It was just, yeah, bro. That camp was just, I'm not gonna say the worst camp because I still train every day. I still train about 2-3 times a day. I still did that, but you got to be focused. That's, as a fighter, I tell all the young fighters, you have to be focused, and it's not just inside the gym. It's out. The matter of fact, the most important time to be focused is outside the gym, not inside the gym. And we wasn't. I'll train. Man, I had a girl waiting on me at the house.
Yeah.
Or like right after I get to the house, usually I should be taking a nap. I got a girl there. You know, going out to eat, going to movies, doing stuff. And this is when, for me, this is when I knew I was going to lose. So this is a week before we left to go to San Francisco for the fight. I go to this girl house. So I made an excuse for myself. So Sundays we don't train.
Yeah.
So Saturday night I went and I stayed up. Man, I stayed over there till about 7 o'clock in the morning. My coach, Evans, was tripping. He was throwing shit in the house, but it was my fault. I was wrong, you know, but this is why I know I was going to lose, because I was over there and my daughter called me. My middle daughter, Khaleesi, she called me, and she FaceTimed me, and at first, of course, I'm not going to answer. I'm with the girl and stuff like that, and we don't believe in the sex stuff. We wasn't doing nothing, but still being over there, right? So I'm over there till, like I said, about 7 o'clock in the morning. She called me, and she crying, and I'm like, what's up? What happened? She talking about her ear hurt. And I'm in LA. What I'm gonna do? She in Houston. I'm in LA. And then what I'm gonna do? What I'm gonna say? Like, go tell your mama? You know, I can't. Her mama asleep, but what I'm gonna say? Get on her mama ass. But look what I'm doing. I can't say that, you know, because you know her mama sleeping. She crying for that, but I'm with a whole, you know, I'm with a whole nother woman right now. So that's, for me, that's when I felt like that was a sign, like, I'm probably gonna lose. And this was a week before I went to San Francisco. Yeah. 1 week before. So. Yeah, man, that camp was like, if I have any any advice for up and coming fighters, like, you gotta be serious. Like, inside, when camp start, it gotta be camp.
But that's a perfect example of like someone who's focused. There, like you said, when Red Dog's beating the shit out of you, you're like, I don't care. I'm keep coming.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're basically rich. You got all these things, you got distractions, all these girls like you, you know, like, it's just, everything's accessible. You can have everything that you want.
That's the hardest
part. And you're
part.
not like a drug and alcohol guy, so it's not like,
but
you're definitely a girl guy.
My problem wasn't drug and alcohol. My problem was the women, for sure. We all got vices. Everybody in the world got some type of vice. We all got them. But mine was the women. Like,
I think Holyfield, didn't he have like 7 kids, 7 different moms?
Yeah, probably, I think more than that. 7 different moms, like 9 or something. I don't want, you know, but yeah, mine was the woman. Yeah.
All right, so you get to the fight. How quickly into that fight do you realize, like, because I know when I was watching it start, I'm like, all right, Regis gonna stop picking it up here, and it just like seemed to get worse, and I'm like, how is he even staying in this fight? It was not good.
Well, we went to the corner, and the ref was like, man, you gonna show me something? What you gonna do? You gonna show me something? And Julia was like,
that's something you never want to hear,
right?
Because now you know, like, not only am I losing, but this ref thinks I'm gonna get hurt,
right, bro? And the thing is, bro, I don't want no disrespect to Devin, but Devin don't got no power. The thing is, if Devin had power, he'd have stopped me for sure. I didn't want to be there. I couldn't wait till the fight was over. I'm telling you, I could not wait till the fight was over. I did not want to be there. I really wanted to quit, but I can't do that, because I know if I would have quit the fight, it'll look like terrible. You know, it'll look real bad on me. But I did not want to be in that fight. I wanted to quit. Before the fight started, I knew, like, I didn't want to be here. I'm in the dressing room warming up, and I'm like, I don't want to be here. Even in going into the fight before, I'm calling my coaches, man. I'm like, man, I'm nervous. I never been nervous before a fight. I'm like, man, well, the last fight too. I'm like, man, I'm nervous. What's this? What's that? I told my dad come up. I told my assistants. I told my wife come up. I told my trainers. I'm telling all of them, telling like, bro, I'm nervous about this. And they like, people trying to talk to me, my head gone. Cause
what do you think was making you nervous? That he was, I mean, obviously he was a great fighter.
He was just getting embarrassed. What happened? I think just getting embarrassed. I didn't think I was gonna get stopped, because I know Devin didn't really have no power. But just getting embarrassed and kind of, you know, what happened. You know, I didn't want to be there. Like, man, I couldn't wait. I'm talking about in the fight. I couldn't wait. I remember being like the 3rd round, like, damn, when this gonna be over?
Oh man,
I did not want to be in that fight.
Were you thinking like, this is it? Like, boxing's over for me? Like, I've never felt this before.
I didn't think that at the time. No, I didn't think that at the time. But I knew. I'm not gonna say I knew it was the end was coming, but no, I didn't think boxing was over. But that night was just, it wasn't done. Yeah. Just because too many things went on in camp. You gotta have a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. You gotta be you got to be focused. You know, in camp, we wasn't focused. You know, we had like a damn near like a party house. You know, like it was, you know, I would train every day, but you know, it's about, like I said, it's about what you do outside the gym, not just inside the gym. It was in LA. I love LA. Of course, I was in LA just doing all kinds of stuff and got distracted. I had this girl, was with her like literally every day. Like I got there on a Sunday night and we started training Monday. By Tuesday, she was at the house. By Tuesday, she was there almost every day. Like probably every other day, something like. If she not there, we going out to eat. We doing something like that almost every. You know, so I'm still training, but I'm not there. I'm not focused. You know.
So what happened after the fight? What was the reaction and like what was?
I just felt bad about I felt bad about myself. I knew I knew I wasn't focused. All my people was there too. Everybody, all my friends and stuff, they came and like they was crying and stuff. But in the dressing room, my dad was crying. My dad like super not emotional. He was crying and stuff like that and he was crying because of happy tears. Like mad about the fight, but happy because like after the fight though, something crazy happened to her. Like everybody embraced me. All my people was in the dressing room. Everybody wanted to be around me. Usually after a fight, like everybody leave you. You gone. You in the dressing room by yourself. Sometimes I heard it from some people. All my people came. All my people from New Orleans. Everybody we came. It was like nothing happened. You know, it was like I didn't lose and nothing like that. You know, so and then after that, like I said, it's crazy because after losses, I felt like that night I felt bad, but I went back. I always go back home, go back to New Orleans, and I went back home and like. Everything was good. We had a big Christmas party because I fought December 9th.
Yep.
Christmas December 25th. So I went back. I rented a big Airbnb for everybody to be in there, and we just had a bunch of fun.
Was that the biggest payday to date?
I don't talk about payday. I'll tell you about
But that was a big payday fighting Devin Haney.
It was a big payday.
Okay.
It was a big payday, yeah.
What happens after that fight?
So after I tried to get back on the thing, I had to give myself some time. Then after that, we fight Jack Catterall. Right, the Jack Catterall fight.
Oh, yeah.
Got to go back to UK. With this fight, I felt like he should never win that fight. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like Jack should never win that fight. I was real confident, real sure of myself, real confident. Everything was smooth in camp too. I learned my lesson from the Devin Haney camp, so I was like, all right, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna be focused. I'm not gonna be so distracted and stuff like that. So we did have a good camp in that fight. Getting to the fight. Yeah, I get into the fight and man, I'm outboxing Jack. I actually dropped him with a jab. I get back to the corner, I think the 6th round or something like that, and my coach is like, man, I don't know what the score looking like. Everybody say I'm up though. Everybody say I'm up on the scorecards. I dropped him and all that. I get back and they're like, the coach like, man, I don't know. You might got to do something else. I don't know what the scorecard's looking like. I'm like, all right. So I get back out there. I step it up. I start pressing him. That's what he wanted. He dropped me. Boom. After I got dropped, I know we fell some type of way. We both fell, and I sprained my ankle. Then that was it. After that, once I sprained my ankle, I rolled my ankle. It was bad, and I was just fighting. After that, I couldn't really move or nothing like that. And then another thing, but Jack was better than I thought. Yeah, I was like Jack, he was just awkward.
That's right.
He was real awkward, but he didn't.
And he's tough.
He's tough. Jack is tough. He's a champion now too at 47. But he is real tough and he's awkward and he's better than I thought. I'm like, bro, I'm looking at Jack. Oh, I'm gonna kill this boy. I'm gonna kill Jack Catterall. I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. But he's more awkward and he's better than what I thought. And he won. He won that fight. So then get back into it. I ain't gonna lie, I never wanted to go to UK. I never liked going to UK. I lost 3 times to UK. Yeah, I know. I hate the damn UK. Yeah. But I don't regret it because I got a lot of fans over there. Yeah. I always put up tough fights and stuff. I never been stopped in my career, put up tough fights, but I just man, why I gotta go to UK? I do understand why, because it was not, I'm not gonna say it was nothing else, but same thing that guy I told you about, he put me in that position.
Oh, the new manager?
Yeah, but so in camp,
acting manager.
So what happened in camp, I told him, look, bro, you can't do this. I can't have you negotiate for me doing what you're doing. Whatever you're doing for me, I can't have you doing it. Because it was him and another one of my friends that was doing it. I said, I can't do this. So I hired Brian Peters, which was a real manager. Yeah. I hired him in the middle of that, probably maybe a month and a half before the fight, I hired him. And so, of course, the old dude, he didn't like it.
Yeah.
And that's when he started all this stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they didn't like that you were bringing in like a seasoned
I
professional.
need a real
Did the other guy
manager.
have any managerial experience?
He did with small guys, small fight.
But
way
not on
smaller
your
fight.
level.
No,
not
nowhere close.
negotiating world title fights.
Nowhere close. And he was the one who put me in a position. I didn't have to do that. Why would I have to go to the UK? You know, I didn't have to do it.
Was it a title fight?
Not a real title. Something. It was 12 rounds, but something like Jack had a WBO something, not the real one. He didn't have the real one.
Yeah,
So,
you don't go to the UK with your record and experience.
so he put me in that position doing that, and it's like, all right, I guess so. But it was Jack Catterall. I'm like, bro, I don't care. It's Jack. I can beat Jack. You know, he was still better than I thought, but I was like, man, I could beat Jack Catterall. It should be an easy fight for me with Jack Catterall, you know? And and then after that, I was supposed to fight. This one I knew the end was near because I was supposed to fight Oscar Duarte.
I remember
2
that.
weeks before the fight, I got hurt. I never been hurt in a fight. I had to pull out a fight. I never had to pull out a fight in my life. I never got hurt in camp. I mean, I got hurt, but never had to pull out a fight. I had to pull out the fight. I got hurt in the camp, and I had to pull out. So I was like, man, like, damn, I don't like this. Like, to have to pull out a fight is like, damn, I never did this in my whole life.
Yeah.
And I had to pull out. And so then that happened. Then had to go back to the drawing board again. But even in that camp, man, like, I was not sparring good. Even my friends like, bro, you good? You all right? Like, what's going on? You good? I'm like, yeah, I'm straight, you know, but I probably wasn't. And but yeah, I still was going through the same thing, going through all the personal stuff too.
Yeah.
I guess that's what kind of was going on with me. And then after that, I fought JoJo, and I came back here. I came back to Vegas for that camp.
All right, and so you beat JoJo Diaz.
Beat JoJo, then trying to figure out. Then we trying to figure out what's gonna happen. I don't know. I came back here. This was supposed to happen. So I came back here. I beat JoJo. I came back here really, to be honest, to run away from home, to get away from because all the personal stuff was going on. So I had to get away from that. I came here to train
to Vegas.
I came back to Vegas to train, but I didn't have a fight yet. But then they was talking about me and Barboza was gonna fight. But I never got a contract. But I just stayed in the gym. I didn't get a contract to fight nobody. I just stayed in the gym. So they offered me like Barboza fight. Well, they said they was gonna offer. They didn't. I never got a contract. They said I was supposed to be Barboza, and that even Barboza hit me up on Instagram. He said, "We gonna do it? Come get ready." So I literally went over his word.
Yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, start getting ready." So I'm like, "All right." I came to Vegas to start training.
Yeah.
And nothing ever happened. Nobody never gave it. Kenny Sims, one of my gym partners, ended up getting a fight with Barboza. But anyways, so then I think they offer like Frank Martin too.
Yep.
But like on a 3-week notice. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. Why would I fight, out here too in Vegas on 3-week notice? And then the Conor Benn thing happened. And I was like, all right.
And that was Zuffa boxing?
No, not Zuffa. I mean, it was, he signed with Zuffa, but
okay.
I don't know. He signed with the Zuffa thing, but yeah.
Who was your promoter at the time?
Eddie.
Oh, okay.
No, I think I was a free agent. I'm tripping. I say Ed. I messed up. It was Oscar, Golden Boy.
Really?
Oscar.
They did one fight for you?
I had 3 fights with Oscar.
Okay.
I would have had one more, but
so you had JoJo Diaz?
JoJo, then this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this fight. They wanted to fight me and stuff like that. So then I was like, all right, let me go ahead and
that was his first fight with Zuffa. So like they were
Zuffa fight.
And that was, did Turkey have a hand in that promotion?
Yeah, Turkey was at the fight.
Okay, so that's again, we don't have to talk about your money, but there's a lot of money at that fight.
It was a big fight.
Yeah.
It was Turkey, it was Netflix. It was a lot.
That's right, Netflix.
It was Netflix
some
deal.
of the biggest fights in history.
Yeah, Netflix. It was a big Netflix deal. So then I did that in that camp. Same thing. I did not want to fight. That's why I really wanted to retire and maybe do something else a while ago. But I was just like, I'm in camp. They called me, and I my mouth kind of get me in trouble because I took it before I even thought about it. But looking back, I'm glad I did. Yeah. Like, bro, I'm talking about this fight. I did not want to fight.
That's when I remember talking to you when you were in the UK before that. I tried to connect you with Shane McGuigan. And I remember talking to you thinking like, all right, it doesn't sound like the same guy, but I'm like, come on, man.
I didn't want to fight.
Get up for this one.
Nah, I didn't want that fight. And looking, I could have beat him too.
Yeah.
Still right now, I know I could have beat him.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say maybe I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to box no more.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to be done with it for a while. I was just like, so in that camp, like one day I woke up, I remember vividly. It was a Thursday. I got it, because usually I in camp, I would get up. So first thing I would meditate. I always meditate for 10 minutes. I get up a little early, meditate for 10 minutes. Then, of course, brush my teeth and all that type of stuff. Then I would go down, take my creatine, I had to take all these vitamins every day, drink a gallon of water. I was just like, man, I just don't want to do this no more.
Yeah.
Like, it feels so good now to live free.
Yeah.
I don't have to, I take creatine because I want to get big and stuff like that, but I don't have to, like.
It's not like a job anymore.
It's not a job no more. I don't have to, I train because I want to, not because I have to no more. And I remember doing that, and then I'm like going to the gym, and it was a Thursday, and I remember like in the gym, I always start off 10 minutes jump rope, and I remember jump roping, and I did not. Every step, because we jump rope.
I know what you mean.
Doom, like this. Every step, I did not want to be there. I did not want to be in that gym. And Thursdays are hard days because we got drills and stuff like that. I remember the drills. I felt like that was my last day in the gym. Yeah. I was like, and I had like 3 weeks before the fight, and I did not. I was like, man, this is my last day. I told one of my the dude that wrote my book, yeah, he like my assistant, my other assistant. I told him, like, bro, I told him every day, I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. Everybody talked me into it. Like, they talked me. Listen, it got so bad because the day of the fight, I didn't want to fight. I'm talking about the day of the fight. It's like a few hours before I gotta go to the arena. So what happened was, one of my friends, he walked me over to my mama hotel in the UK. I walked over there. I was like, I'm gonna just, we ate and stuff like that. Then walked over there. I go to my mama hotel. Me and her. I brought my son with me. My son playing on the game. I'm laying in the bed with her. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to fight. She's like, why? I'm like, bro, I don't want to get hurt. Because I had a little injury and stuff like that in camp. I had a hand, had an eye. My rib, something with my bicep. I had some things going on, but really the most thing was my eye and my hand. That was the thing. Because my last day of sparring, that same eye I told you about earlier, I got hit in my eye. I couldn't see.
Oh my God.
Literally my last day of sparring out here in Vegas. So I got hit in my eye. Anyway, I couldn't see. It was blurry and stuff like that. And I'm thinking, I was like, Mom. So anyways, I went back to the room. My mom, I'm laying in the bed with her. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to fight. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want this. I'm making excuses, stuff like that. She's like, boy, just go fight. Like, we came all the way out here. Yeah. You got to fight. My mom is not a Colin type of person. Yeah. She not a soft person. Right. She like, fight. You got to fight. Yeah. So I'm like, shit, all right. Still walking back. My friend come get me to go to the arena now. Yeah. Walking back, I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight. It got so bad. Look, I wanted to, like, I was thinking about falling out the van on Netflix.
Yeah,
so people say, oh, he fell out the van. He
praying
can't fight.
For lightning to strike the building.
So happened. I'm in the car on the way to arena fight night. I'm like, bro, I don't want to fight. I still don't want to fight. Yeah. Right? But then we get in the dressing room. It's just like something clicked, something turned on. I don't know what happened. Something clicked on me.
Well, you probably realize, like, you're fucking going. You about to get in a fight. You got to get your head right.
I got to. Yeah, it's nothing else. But even in the dressing room when I got there, I still was thinking, I'm going to slip or fall. I'm going to hurt myself. I'm not going to fight. This is the fight is going on. I'm thinking I'm not going to fight.
I think anyone that's done anything competitive at a high level knows that feeling. And by high level, I mean, even if it's high level for you, like the stuff that I did in running isn't relevant to like Olympic and real world champions. I was like, the tallest short guy. I was like doing age group stuff. But still, I remember moments like later in my career feeling like expectations were high, like, I don't want to do this, but like you said, like you reach that point where you just something clicked and you're like, well, it doesn't matter what you want or what you don't want. It's like it's like being drafted into the war. Like, I don't want to go fight in a war I know nothing about, but then it's like, here's your gun, and you're like, well, if I don't shoot this, I'm gonna get shot. So if I don't let these hands go, I'm gonna get hurt.
Right. So yeah, so I got in the dressing room, still didn't want to fight, but then something just clicked in me. Like I put my shoes on, I put my socks on, I put everything on. I start warming up, I start bouncing around. I couldn't sit still. I'm just bouncing almost the whole time. Usually you want to sit still a little bit, but I'm bouncing around the whole time.
Like nervous energy.
Yeah, I put the gloves on, start hitting the pads a little bit. All right, it's feeling better. Then it's time to glove up. All right. We going. Now I know I'm fighting. I gotta fight for sure. It's time to glove up. I'm wrapped up. Really, even before you glove, but when you wrap up, because then when you wrap up, my trainer got to go watch him. His trainer got to watch me wrap up. So I'm wrapping up. we watching the fights on the TV. It's like, all right, like we doing this.
To me, that's the hardest part of the whole training camp. Not that I had a professional fight, but being in the locker room and watching, especially when you're the main event, it's torture. Unless you're like in your early days when you're like, I'm killing this guy, you can't wait.
Right.
But when you're at the point you're at, that is the hardest
Just
2
waiting.
hours ever. Sitting and watching those fights, you see someone get knocked out, etc., etc. You're just like, I'm coming, and when I get out there, there's not going to be an empty seat. So if there's an empty, the early fights, half the place isn't full. Now you walk out and the place is electric.
Right, man. So yeah, but what happened was, so I'm glad I leaned on my son. My son had to lean on me. I leaned on my son. So he know. I told him, look at the struggle I was going through. Like that camp was the worst struggle, mentally the worst struggle I ever been through in my whole life. Right?
I could tell when I was talking to you.
I was struggling, man. I was going through so much stuff, mentally going through all the whole divorce thing, all that type of stuff, going through all that type of stuff. So yeah, but in the dressing room, like I thought my son was there with me. I said, look, I like right before we about to walk, I said, look, I'm scared of this fight. I don't want to fight, right? I'm nervous. I don't want to fight. I don't want to, but I'm doing it. Like you gotta walk into that field. Like it's such great things on the other side of that field. Yeah. We have to do that. Like when you scared of something, do it. That's the thing. And so I was really scared to fight, but I'm so glad I did it. If I didn't do that, I would regret that for probably the rest of my life.
Would have haunted you until
it would have haunted. I would have been fight. I would still been fighting, trying to do something. I would try to do everything.
I hope people are hearing this. Like the sting of quitting will never leave you. You lost to Conor Benn. It sucks, but you didn't quit.
I'm glad I did it. And I mean, the thing is, like I said, they play this narrative like, oh, he's a big, strong guy. He's supposed to stop you and all that stuff. I was coming up. He was coming down. He's younger, all this stuff. And, man, even right now, I think I could have beat him. Like, even right. I saw opportunity. I saw opening that I could have did something. I just didn't do it. I was like,
Wow.
You ever? I forgot the movie. It's like a motorcycle movie or something like that, and it's with Lawrence Fishburne and the dude, and they riding these bikes, and I guess it's like the dad versus son, the big dog versus, and they driving these bikes and they racing.
Yeah.
And it's the young guy versus the old guy, and they racing, and the old guy know he can win, but he let off on the throttle.
Yeah.
And he let him win. That's kind of how I felt. I felt kind of like that. Like I saw it. I remember like jabbing him, and they landed, and I saw like, all right, because in southpaw, you want to jab to your right.
Yeah.
You always want you step to your right. And I saw I could have did it, and if I would landed, I probably would have dropped him if I would landed there, because he was off balance a little bit. But I saw it, and I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. I just saw it, I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. Well,
it sounds like the decision is right then to get out of the sport, because once you lose that killer instinct to like go for blood and you don't take it, it's like, all right.
That's like not. I felt like I didn't want to do it, but like even like I said, getting back to the locker room, like I told my son, like, you said I was nervous the whole time, but I'm doing it, right? This teach you, like, bro, you got, and this is right before the camera's on me, right?
Yeah.
This is right before the camera about to come in. They're like 1 minute to walk. So I'm telling him, like, look, you see, I'm nervous. I don't want to fight. I'm scared. But when you got to do it, and I said, look, if you nervous, because this was 70,000 people, right, in a stadium. I said, if you nervous, you lean on me. If I'm nervous, I'm gonna lean on you. But I walked. But
what did he say?
He just said, all right. He's like, all right. But the thing is, we create these monsters in our head.
That's right.
We create these big monsters in our head. I can still see it right now, like what I thought about the crowd and stuff. I thought because it's 70,000. That's the biggest.
That's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. That's the biggest crowd I ever fought. 70 or 80,000 people on Netflix. But when I walked out, it wasn't that, because the 70, 80,000 people, they're not there.
Yeah.
I'm looking up there, way up there.
And the lights are on you, so you can't even see them.
You can't even, man, I didn't see nobody. Yeah. That's the thing. It was just me and him almost. Yeah. I didn't see nobody. Even thinking back right now, I didn't see nobody I really didn't even see the crowd.
Yeah.
But I was nervous. I was more nervous about like the crowd, Netflix, that type, then kind of been. I wasn't really nervous about that. I was nervous about how big the stage was, and I didn't want to get embarrassed and stuff like that. But for me, like, I'm so glad I did it. Like I said, that fight was the one I struggled with the most out of my whole career. I didn't want to fight.
But that's what I love about you is your honesty and integrity to like acknowledge these things that some fighters would never acknowledge that. They would never say I was scared.
I say, you know,
but I think it's a good lesson for the younger kids to hear. Like, you could be a killer all through your whole career, and Tyson has spoken about this too. And like, as you get older, you start to get comfortable with the reality where as a kid, you put up this false bravado. You're like, I'm never scared. I'm never doing this. But as we get older and more mature, you realize like it doesn't do anyone any favors to not be honest with my feelings. And if someone can learn from this, say like, I tell my kids this all the time. Are you scared? Like one of my sons in particular will say like, yeah, I'm scared. And I would always tell them like just what you told your son. You have to get used to in life, this for everyone, do it scared. Everyone is scared. The other fighters, I guarantee you, Conor Benn had nerves too.
He probably more nervous than me because he got the big stage on him.
Right. But the point is, who's going to do it scared? If you didn't do that fight, we'd be having a different conversation right now.
I'd be trying to fight. I'd be trying to, if I didn't fight that fight, I'd be trying to do everything. I'd be trying to do MMA right now, bare knuckle boxing. I'd be trying to do everything right now. But I'm still might do something, but just because I want to play around, not because it's serious and like just because I might just do it. But
everybody already knows who you are.
Right. I don't need to prove myself.
That's right.
Right, I don't need to prove it, but yeah, that's one thing I feel like, man. Two things I realized about that fight was you have to, if you're scared of something, do it. Run towards it. Yep. You know, go towards that. You know, if you in a tunnel and it's dark and they got the light, that's the out. Go towards that darkness. It might be the best thing towards the darkness. I'm so glad that I went towards it. And the second thing is we create these monsters in our head. Yeah. And it's not there. The monster's not what you imagine in your head is way worse. Always way, way worse than what's the actual reality. We just create monsters in our head. You know, and that's something I did learn about. So for me, I'm just like glad that I'm so glad I got that through, and like that's why I feel so at peace right now. Yeah, like I'm so peaceful right now. I'm out here in Vegas, and I'm like good. My kids out here, I'm good. Like you said, I'm going through all kinds of stuff personally, but it don't even bother me. Like that stuff is like I feel peaceful.
Well, that's why I called my book "Everything You Want's on the Other Side of Hard."
It is.
If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it. It wouldn't be novel to be a world champion fighter because anyone can do that. Right. But now you get to the point where you not only have to be good physically and athletically, but you have to be able to control those emotions that everyone has. Everybody gets scared of different things. So after that fight, what was the reaction after the fight? And did anything surprise you?
Everybody was surprised. Everybody like, man, I got so much love. Like after knowing I retired and stuff, like I got so much love. People like, man, you're a warrior. People tell me, don't quit. You should still fight. Everybody was like kind of proud of me and stuff like that. Even like proud. Everybody was like so proud and stuff. Like they thought I was gonna get knocked out and all type of stuff. And I just like, I felt good. Like I felt just real good about that. Like even the drive back to the room, my mama, all my friends, we in the vans and just talking, just felt like a weight lifted off. You know,
you must have felt good that like, hey, I didn't get embarrassed. I lost, but you put up a good showing. You're an older fighter. You did everything. You didn't start till you're 17. It's not common. Not at this weight class, it's not common to be good. Like heavyweights, it's the talent pool isn't deep there necessarily. 140, anywhere from like those lighter weights all the way up to like cruiser. Like those guys have deep amateur pedigree. They only have been ever 06 done one thing his whole life: fight.
Right.
Like you with the childhood, the Katrina, the move, and the this. So to accomplish all the things that you've accomplished, like I know you know, but it's just incredibly impressive. And I think more important than your career is the person that you are. Like I said, I've known you a long time. Like I think you're a world-class person. You're a great dad, and you're an awesome friend. I know. Look, there's some friends you have, they have big profiles, you text, they might text back a day later. I know that when I call you, if I ever called you for anything, I know Regis is going to answer. I don't take advantage of my friends or ever, but I know if I needed something, I know I call Regis. Hey, someone wants to fight me. I'll be right over. You know what I mean? There's other friends, you know that they're your friends, but you call them and say, someone wants to fight me, they're going to go hide under their bed. They're not going to help. You know what I mean? So for what it's worth, like I think that you're a better person than you are a fighter. You're a good man, and I'm excited. What's next? Because I'm excited to see what's next for you.
Right now, so right now, just being out here, like like I was saying earlier, I wanted to get into some business stuff. I want to do like the recovery business, the recovery center thing I was talking about. Of course, like, you know, I got a podcast already coming out, have a book already, working on part 2. Most likely doing some movie stuff, probably work on a cartoon.
I've been car service.
I forgot about that.
Come on.
I forgot about it. I do have a car service. I forgot all about it. I have a car service in Vegas, black truck service in Vegas.
What's it called?
Actually, a big celebrity just was in, I won't say the name, but a big celebrity was just in a few days ago. Real big celebrity was in my truck a few days ago. So we have that. I have it in Houston too. I do luxury car rentals out there, do real estate.
So the one in Houston, you have a fleet of rental, like exotic rental cars?
Exotic rental cars.
Like what kind of
Houston.
cars?
Ferrari,
Lambo?
Yeah, we have that. So I'm partnered with a company, everything.
What's the name of that company?
Lamborghinis, Black Label.
Black Label in Houston is an exotic car rental business that you have with a partner.
So we have
all
everything.
the exotics.
Anything you want. Literally, and I don't even name all the cars. Anything you want. We have that. And I have a black truck service also in Las Vegas. So that's some days I'm doing. I forget about that stuff. Yeah, I am doing that type of stuff too.
Hope you have a business manager. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I be having so much stuff going on. I be forgetting about that stuff. So yeah, but right now, like I just want to like keep training, like you said. I'm a little bigger, lifting weights and stuff like that, and like be with my kids right now in Vegas. They probably going back in about 3 weeks, so just trying to spend as much time.
Oh, kids are here for the summer?
My kids here for the summer.
Oh, good.
My kids are here for the
summer.
You
got them all?
I got them all.
How many you got now?
3.
3 kids.
3 kids. Yeah, I got my son is in jiu-jitsu, and my middle daughter is in gymnastics.
Okay.
The little
How
one,
old
5,
are they?
12, 9, and 5.
All right, you're in the thick of it.
Yeah. Right.
I will tell you one thing. Those kids will get older so fast. Like my daughter, Tensei, just got her driver's license.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I remember she was a little baby.
Yeah.
Little girl. Damn, for real.
Do you know how many, you remember, like, they were convinced that you were like a real Rougarou.
I remember that, yeah.
They were convinced because my youngest, who was probably 5 at the time, he's now 11, he was convinced. He'd be like, I don't understand that. When does he turn into the Rougarou? I said, only when he fights. Because Regis used to wear the mask into the ring of a Rougarou, which is, it's like a fictional werewolf.
Yeah, like a werewolf, a werewolf in Louisiana.
But it's like a little kid's story in Louisiana that they tell the children.
Basically like the boogeyman.
Yeah, like a boogeyman, exactly. So
basically.
The Rougarou was like a werewolf character that would come and get you when you were a kid.
Right, yeah.
Don't go, the Rougarou's sleeping under your bed tonight. Be careful.
Uh-huh.
My son was so scared of that. The poor kid, because the rest of the kids would tease him so much. So when they were, but the older one, Tensei, she'd be like, Dad, why doesn't he bring the Rougarou mask over here when he comes? I said, even when she was older, I go, because it's not a mask, that's him.
Right.
He turns into the Rougarou. He says, why doesn't he still have the mask once the fight starts? I said, that's part of the Rougarou's lore. He can't have that face on for the fight. He knows the rules.
Yeah.
They loved it, man. It was, to me, that's still one of the greatest ring nicknames, watching that. You come in with that mask on, and then little Ray, your son, had the little mask on.
Yeah.
The kids
used to love that.
And my kids loved it because they'd be like, wait a minute, there's a little Rougarou
too.
too.
Little Rougarou, yeah, he loved it, man. I love that because when he gets older, he gonna just really appreciate that.
Oh, for sure.
Man, it's crazy. Like that's one of my most proudest things, because my son is like look up to me crazy. Like he be posting stuff online. Like I don't be seeing it, but people be sending me. Like he be like, oh, I want to make my dad proud and stuff like that. Posting because I got a bunch of pictures with me and him in a locker room together, in the dressing room. Yep. Like him just with me, and even from like little to big now, he just be with me. So like that's cool. He actually might want to fight one day, maybe.
That's the part though that I get nervous about, just having, and obviously I didn't have an ounce of the success that you had, but just having some success and recognition. It subliminally puts a lot of pressure on the kids, and that's one thing you should, I'm sure you are aware of. Like, you don't want him to spend his whole life trying to like live up to your expectations athletically. You want him to know that, like, at least for me, what I tell my kids is like, look, you can't control talent. You can control effort, though. You can be the hardest worker. And as long as you go out and try your hardest, that to me is the win.
Right.
Because you're going to as long as you get the most out of yourself, how can a dad be angry if you go out there and you do the best you can, but you're never a world champion? Well, guess what? The world champion, there's only one at every single thing.
Right.
Only one can be the best in the world. And to do that takes effort. The guy who tries the hardest and has the most talent is going to be that guy. Like, we can't control the talent. Right. Hopefully you find that perfect storm. But that's what I emphasize religiously to the kids. It's like, did you do your best? Did you do your best? I don't think you did your best. They're like, I could have done more. I was like, all right. You know.
Right, yeah.
Did they feel that pressure, even if I'm not there? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's why I never wanted to name my son after me. I don't want him to be like, you don't got to be like me. I'm me and you be you. And that's it. You know, you do something else, you might be better than me. You know, or you might do something, you know, even, you don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to do that stuff. He's starting to want to fight a little bit now. So maybe he might want to do it, but you don't have to.
Well, the nice thing is you know the business, so he won't go through the bullshit that you had to go through.
I think he might want to do MMA.
Even better.
Yeah, I know, because he's starting to kick me. He's starting to test me a little. Not test me. He's starting to want to play with me stuff. He want to come behind me, grab my neck. I got to keep my... Every time he around, I gotta keep my chin down. He's gonna like try to choke me out all the time.
Protect your neck, like I gotta protect my neck.
Yeah, exactly. He wanna do that all the time, and he's starting to kick me and stuff. I'm like, come on, bro. All right, let's do it.
You still got the house in Texas with the ring and everything?
Yeah.
That's a nice compound you had there with the basketball court, the pool, the whole shit.
All that. Yeah, I still got
the one thing that you had that I love for the listeners is the old tire heavy bag, just a bunch of tires stacked up, glued together or tied together, hanging like a heavy bag. And the other thing I like is you always hit the heavy bag with bag gloves.
Yes.
Never like, I need my hands protected. You have these like old school, like 1960, like little tiny mittens it looks like.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what they are.
That'll toughen your hands up.
Make your hands real,
you still got
hard.
the tire heavy bag?
I still got it. Yeah, I still got all that stuff. I still hit it.
Funny to see that tire heavy bag hanging up in a house in L.A. in Hollywood.
Oh,
whatever fancy neighborhood you were living in.
Right.
A gated community with a friggin' tire heavy bag.
Outside. Yeah.
That was great. Well, dude, I appreciate you doing this. I think you're the best. You're an awesome friend, and thank you. I really appreciate the man that you've become. You're just a all-around good dude.
Yeah. Thank you.
There you go. Regis, Rougarou, Prograis. Thanks, guys, for being with us. Please subscribe to the show. Love you guys. Boom. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Please take a quick minute to subscribe to the podcast wherever you're listening. This is a new show, so subscribing makes a huge difference. Please also take a minute to give it a review and leave a comment on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. You can also subscribe and leave a comment on YouTube. Again, this is really important for us, especially now since we're just getting started. Please also check out all of our sponsors. They make the show possible, and honestly, I love and use every single product we talk about on the show. You can learn more about me, this podcast, and also find links to purchase my upcoming memoir at theothersideofhard.com. My new book is called Everything You Want Is on the Other Side of Hard, and it comes out March 10th, available everywhere you buy books. Or again, go into theothersideofhard.com. There's multiple links there where you can find all the retailers carrying the book. Thanks a lot for being with us, and we'll see you next week.